Hello.
And into the abyss we go.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
That's what Rubrion said.
Oh my god. So, this happened this evening. You know,
He acts surprised.
I am surprised.
Really?
How?
Very, very, very surprised.
You shouldn't be.
I know. You would
You know who
think
you're working with.
this is also
Yep.
true. I was
Gays
like-
and Halloween.
I was just like, I'm gonna be cute, and I would just be a beholder. And then, you know, we had
Oh, Aaron, you're
Spider-Man,
always cute.
and then
Wait,
we
what are
had-
these characters off to the side? That is not us.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, those are. Oh, hold on. I know who those are.
Characters off to the side.
I see like Nana, Leary.
Yeah.
Oh,
Finn.
from
Those are the Those
The-
are our Fae hunters.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, why does that sound familiar?
Where are you
Yeah.
looking at? I don't see
let me
that.
select.
Like if you put your mouse over like our screen, like how our character.
Oh. Gotcha. Well, hello, everybody.
Hello.
Every
Oh,
time I
boy.
move my arm, it sounds like wood, like wood planks.
Oh, like
Stepped
the
on.
planking
That's
together.
flanking.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Welcome to Game of Santos, where we play D&D and clearly have too much time on our hands when we comes to.
Or
dressing
not
up.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that one was correct. Yeah.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, this is life now. So,
And life is
We're
strange.
used to this by now.
Oh, everybody want to say what their costume is because I'm sure you guys have really great names for them, right?
Yep.
All right, we'll start with Ardrin. You're the next closest to me right up here.
Oh, I see. Well, I didn't know what the theme was, so I went with something a little more understated, where I went as Peter Parker in civilian clothing with his little webcam.
Aw.
And then all these people did their thing. So,
And then Kindred, what are you?
You said webcam. I love it.
Call me Devexian.
Devexian? I don't. Okay. Sonder.
I'm just a unicorn rock star.
Yeah, you are.
I was
Unicorn
trying to
Rocks-
go for like unicorn with the K, but I didn't have enough time to do the black makeup.
That's a great
That
idea.
would have been that's super great. We'll just say that's what it is. It's fine.
Okay.
Unicorn with a K. Specified. And then we have
That's the
Iskra.
backwards K, right?
Yeah.
I am the protagonist from Life is Strange, Max Coffey.
Yeah. And then we have Soul.
I am a unicorn, and I want to take you all to Candy Mountain.
Oh, love it.
Where Galil can flash his magical Leo Pleurodon.
Oh no, we're not.
Nah. I ain't about that life.
I am Alistair de Poitiers, my original character that I used for Ren Fair.
Nice.
Double vodka to you too.
And North, I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue. Like I should know who you are, but somehow.
I feel like everyone dressed like that, you should never use that phrase tonight.
I
It's
am
definitely
Deadpool.
Carnage.
No shit. Fuck, I forgot
It's
my line.
Iron Man.
No, that's my mentor.
He's a scooter pool.
It's the Thanos.
no, the
Thanos guy.
Harvey
I don't want to go,
Birdman.
Mr. Stark. I'm scared. I don't wanna go.
Yeah,
Wow.
makes sense.
the human spider.
The human spider.
Ooh, I like it. It's like before he became. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
The human spider.
More like the Walmart
spider.
safe brand
Human
costume that you can get.
Yeah.
The Wish
and,
version.
And Galil,
Arachnoman.
The typical gay.
the typical gay. Yeah. Gays this
The
weekend.
gay Halloween costume.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's great. Welcome. Yeah, I'm home just in time. Thank you, Derpa Foxy, for joining us. Hello, Dreamy and Elvie and all the rest of you hooligans. Just typical gay. Just a typical
Yeah, I was in
gay,
Tina
a typical gay. Hills and Tina Turner. Amazing. Well, on that note, here we are. And I guess, here we go into tonight's episode of Game of Santos. Whee! Well, here we are, back from beyond the realms of internet space and time. I did have one. I'm trying to both fit my eyes in camera and myself, and it's just getting to be very difficult.
Your cam back.
Balancing out where.
Did you introduce yourself, Aaron?
Oh, I think I
He's
did.
Boo from Monsters Inc.
No.
This is Aaron. He's
This
our
is a-
DM. He does all the things for us.
I am a beholder.
Like a good little boy should.
I have my big center eye. I
1,
should have
2, 3,
painted
4,
more.
5, 6,
I have
7
eyes everywhere. I don't know if you can see.
I'm just
There's
waiting for you
more
to
eyes. Wait,
No.
hold on.
to go,
Right
like-
there.
Just wait for him to be like, it got me in the eye.
right.
All right. On that note, I forgot to mention that I do have one announcement for this week, and that is our next episode of Fae Hunters is going to be broadcast this Saturday at 8 p.m. We are going to have the episode 3 of it. It's going to be great. It's a lot of fun. Highly suggest. Our crew is wild, and I love them. But on that,
Poor Iskra.
what?
I'm just holding it together for the stream.
Yeah, been there, definitely. All right, so I think that was it as far as announcements goes. We'll go ahead and I was gonna go ahead and just break down the last week's episode, but I can't do it to this.
Stay tuned during the break to see Galil's ping pong trick.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
No.
All right.
Galil did not approve of this message.
All right. I can't. That was digging into my head.
I think
so
I get it.
I'm just gonna go with this center. That's
He can
fine.
no longer. He's a Triclops.
All right. So yes, I'm a Triclops. This is my. Maybe if I should
You
have what I should have
tried
done.
so
That's your
hard.
third eye.
Yeah. I was like, I should have
Yes,
drawn
hard.
it.
as the
and got
DM,
so
he's
far.
You're a
using
monk of
his
the third eye.
psychic powers to
Yeah.
foresee all
You're plea.
possibilities.
Sparky,
Or
Sparky,
you-
boom,
Sparky,
boom.
Sparky Boom Boom Man. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
Yep. That's definitely what I
Do
should've
like
gone with,
the tattoo on your. That'd be an easy one too.
right? I'll just keep adding eyes. How about that? All right.
Just
so
a highlighter.
on last week's episode, we had the party was being attacked, or no, being hunted, I guess, by various strange creatures that were lurking in the woods, invisible ones, things that could not be seen, that somehow Ardrin's spiders could sense and yet couldn't see, and had a little bit of a of fear to them about it. Hatching up a plan as quickly as you guys could, despite the differences in opinion, you guys decided to stick around and remove this threat from the village before you head onto your next destination. As you guys did this, you waited in the night for your opportunity to strike. And once that opportunity arose, Kindred decided to go ahead and play a prank. A well-timed prank. Thank goodness.
Perfectly done.
It was all calculated.
Right, sure.
You're just bad at math, though.
And you guys managed to subdue the spider weblings, the spider-like creatures that had emerged from the webbing that had surrounded the woods. Finding yourselves victorious once again, you had just finished managing to defeat the last of these creatures as Grandma Illy and Fanch burst forth from below decks of the Reclaimer, swords at the ready to join you, and those of you who remained are here on the deck of the ship, having just beaten back these foes. And that is basically where we left off. So, as the adrenaline from the fight is now starting to calm itself, what are you guys doing?
I'm running back up into the ship to check on the boys.
Okay.
Arjun's going to start perusing the corpse that they're nearest to.
Okay. Make an investigation check. Kindred, as you get up to the top of the deck, there in that, as pushed back as far as they could into a corner of the railing and the cabin that is here on the top deck, is Grackle holding on to Sparrow as one of them kind of looks a little paler. Sparrow's kind of looking a little paler and almost blue and frosted over a little bit. Yes, Soul.
I just remembered, I think if I recall, at the end of last session, I was going to do that healing spirit.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be like a little flame, like a Studio Ghibli flame, cute little flame with eyes and a mouth.
Okay.
It's
Awesome.
cute.
We can do
I
that
got a
for-
7.
A 7? Alrighty.
Healing spirit.
If it matters, he's not looking for stuff as much as he's just trying to get a better understanding of what it is they're dealing with.
I'll go
Alrighty.
over to Grackle and Sparrow as well.
Alrighty.
At this time, I have them like both like held, just like trying to warm them up as best I can.
Alright.
I used Aura of... Well,
Wow.
never mind.
Okay. As you are looking about Ardren, looking through the little, it's interesting that the spider web that had been surrounding these creatures that had moved so fluidly, so smoothly, has now crumpled into like what seems to be like hardened plaster. There's just pieces of it scattered about, even almost reduced to dust. And it seems hollow, as if whatever this had encased just is no longer there, leaving just this hardened shell on the outside.
Does anything remain solid, like talons or anything like that, like the teeth, or is it all just sort of crumbling plaster?
It is basically crumbling. There's a couple of maybe like pieces of an arm, or those weird like dual fingered claws that they would have for their hands. But looking into them, it's like looking into a cast. there it is hollow on the inside, empty. There doesn't seem to be any sort of body left behind. So you had cast that thing. Kindred, what did you say? I'm sorry.
I'm just like holding Sparrow, like just trying to warm him up as best I can, and just being there while everyone does everything else.
Okay.
And then Grandma Fanch and Grandma Illy ran up onto the deck, right?
Yes.
I'm just gonna yell out for Granny Illy, like, Illy, the boys are over here. They're safe.
See, coming around the corner to where you are at, Illy like moves a lot sprier and faster than you've ever seen her before. She comes around the corner, sword in hand, and her eyes and face now looking less Illy and more concerned mother, I guess you could say. Her eyes are kind of widened in concern, and she comes over to the two boys and like falls to her knees and grasps them into her arms.
Don't fight that, but he'll be okay. We just need to warm him up. He's freezing.
Yeah, of course. And just kind of like she just mutters to herself and starts speaking to them in Gnomish, just like muttering.
What did
little
you
things.
say?
Things that a grandmother would tell her grandchildren. Giving
beat your ass.
Pobrecito, did you eat enough today?
Here's a $5 bill. Go see a Star Wars.
Go see a Star Wars.
Dude.
But yeah, she's just like not condolences. She's just offering them comfort and just saying like, "Oh, grandma."
Being like true grandma.
Yeah.
What are those candies? Those like toffer?
Abuelitas? Wait, no.
No, those
There's originals.
Welch's or no?
Yeah,
Werther's.
Oh, Werther's?
Werther's. Yeah. Take some out
Little
of her
caramels.
purse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little caramels that she pulled out of nowhere.
No, it's like those
Is it a
strawberry hard
caramel? I was gonna
candies.
say caramels or those strawberry candies is one of those two. All right. So that being said, she kind of helps gather the boys and bring them downstairs. Fanch.
I'm gonna have the healing spirit follow them around too.
Okay. Yeah, so, what does the healing spirit do for everybody?
I
I don't think anybody was really hit too much, were they?
I have like
for a bit.
3 HP missing.
Okay. So Arjun and Iskra can use some of the healing then.
Yeah, and I can do healing for everybody too. So this one, the healing spirit is a 5-foot cube, and anyone who is in the space the first time or walk into it or moves into it, they get 1d6 hit points.
Okay.
I love how the druid is healing.
Yeah, I heal. I'm a healer.
We're not going to go there. You're just egging for it.
I don't think Renan heard you. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
It can
You're
heal
muted.
up to a number of times equal to 1 plus spellcasting ability modifier.
Okay.
Which is
I don't need it.
no, it wasn't for you. It was for everybody else.
Arjun's not really paying attention to it. He's more sort of surveying the not quite corpse.
Yeah.
And I think whoever is near him is Renan and Galil, so he's just indicating the oddity of the sort of cast-like entity that they just killed.
I want to use primeval awareness to see if I sense any more of the aberrations
Alrighty.
near me.
everyone who is injured, please stay close,
Well, why don't you go downstairs with the boys?
because this is going to heal everybody.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do spirit totem, unicorn spirit, and everyone within this radius in the aura, which is 60 feet,
Mhm.
30 foot radius. Everyone gets. I don't know why I cannot read today. We get hit points equal to my druid level, which is level 8. So every time that healing spirit heals someone, which is I'll tell you the number here in a minute. Everyone also gains 8 hit points back.
All right. So yeah, within a short amount of time, you guys are healed back up to your full health.
Well, with some of us got hit with max HP reducing stuff until the long
yes.
rest. So,
And I'm gonna spend a spell slot for cure wounds for myself too, because I got hit pretty bad.
Alrighty.
For the most part, is everyone okay? Everyone's accounted for?
Peachy.
I'm gonna ask that same question over the spies member, since some people are at the front of the ship and I probably haven't seen them yet.
Okay. For the most part, I think everybody that has them or has one is pretty close, or is now gathered close enough to convey that they are back in working order, as it were. Ardric, go ahead.
He's going to use the circlet to try and get the spiders to check on the village itself, to get their multi-eyes on people there to see how they're doing.
For sure. Galil, as you reach out with your senses there to sense for any more aberrations, you focus on the feeling of the vast array of fey creatures that you sense out there. And you sense nothing of the aberration variety, and you were within your range at the moment.
We're clear for now. At least for now.
And Ardren, as you using the senses of the spiders, the multitude of voices that kind of start echoing in your mind, spreading out like this web of relayed messages that kind of just seem to be checking in with each other as they pass further and further out. The village is fine. Village. Nothing has approached the village. What hunted us kindly. What hunted us is gone.
Good to know. Keep an eye on it as best you can.
All the eyes.
He's going to look to Renan and Galil, and spiders seem to confirm that we seem to have taken care of whatever has been in the area. I don't know if there's more that'll come later, but the ones for tonight seem dealt with.
For now.
And she's going to hand back the spyglass to Galil.
Because y'all are still at the front of the ship, right?
Yeah.
The what? I'm sorry?
I was asking, they're still at the front of the ship, right?
Yeah. Or I mean, gathered at least close enough together to where everybody. It's not like it's that big of a
huge.
ship.
It's not the Titanic. No.
Yeah.
I want to come up to y'all. How are y'all doing? Y'all good?
Oh yeah.
Had better days, but limping through.
Yep. It scared the shit out of me. But no casualties, no hurts. Everyone's counted. How's the village?
Seems like the village is doing just fine for the moment.
Okay.
By the way, anybody know who sent out that flare?
I did.
How did you know that they were coming?
Did you not see me spend an hour setting up wards around the ship?
Sure.
I swore I saw a little giggle from your way when I looked over.
Oh,
Yes.
now North is seeing sounds. That's fantastic. Got hit harder than we thought.
If you knew that,
Speaking of North, did you get
What
the
was
sword I
that,
tried to throw
Thunderboy?
you?
That would be a sound you could see well.
Wow.
and you decided to bring
I'm not sure because I
Crackle and
thought
Sparrow
Grandma
out?
Ellie grabbed it.
Well, you might want to check with Fanch because
You have to grab it back. It's your sword.
I threw it to you. It's yours now. You can use it better than I can, anyways.
But you threw it at the wrong person.
I
You
threw
can't
it
have me.
and I missed. If you don't want it, that's fine. I mean, Vanch can take it. I just thought you might want it. Awesome. What?
Which one?
The +1 scimitar.
Am I there with everybody?
Yeah.
We're just on the top
I
of the
don't know.
ship.
You tell me. Where are you?
Oh, I think it's already in my inventory, so I think
I was
should
up
grab
there
it.
at the top after
Okay.
healing
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
I think I switched flanch for a short sword because it's in my inventory already. So
Well, I'm just saying. I threw it
Do
to
you
you.
ask her
Vanch
for the
has
frost
it.
brand?
what?
Just, Fanch comes over to you guys, looking frazzled, and comes over to Iskra. Was that all?
As far as I know, yeah.
She has the frost brand in her hand, and hands it over towards Renan. She goes, "Here you go. You can have this back."
Don't want to fight anymore.
Oh, I'm sure that there will be plenty more opportunities that come crawling around, but for the moment, I'm gonna leave it to you guys. I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do with it anyway. Once I came up here, I was just start swinging at whatever I didn't recognize, and I'm glad that when I come up here, I see everyone that I recognize. So, for the most part.
Speaking of crawling around, what were those creatures? I have never seen that before.
Some kind of demon or
I don't know. I was actually gonna, now that the boys are safe, look at one of the bodies to see what the fuck it was.
Well,
They
if I
seem-
do recall correctly, Galil said that it was an aberration.
I just don't know what.
Is that like the same thing that those other creatures we used to see before?
Which other creatures?
I'm trying to remember what they were called. The ones that would get summoned all the time.
ones that Alagun summoned.
Yes.
Oh, the
No.
Ents.
Similar.
Well, these creatures seemed almost hollow, like maybe they were a container for something else.
Like a piñata that came to life.
Yeah, Pinata don't wants to kill you.
Yeah.
It does the hitting.
Oh, like a cast off snake skin.
That makes more sense to me than this pinata.
Pinata.
So not something normally seen in these woods then? I look at Ardrin.
Same.
Hard to say. I mean, primarily it just sort of seems to be overlapping with the Feywild, but if the skin of reality here is a little thin, who's to say what other realms it crosses into? I mean, if it hits the Feywild, who's to say it doesn't hit the Shadowfell?
Oh, yeah.
Do they look humanoid?
From what you had seen of them, kind of, but not really.
They
had
don't have a
humanoid
total of 8
features, but they had
limbs and-
8 limbs. They didn't have thick body. They had like a humanoid body. It just happened to have 4 legs and 4 arms.
Maybe we should ask the Fae if this is one of their kin.
Well,
If
is there anything left of them?
Make it an investigation check, Kindred.
If the town was not hit, and they have been circling us for the past 2 days, it would
And
make sense
I
that they have
used-
following our party.
26.
You're looking about at the on the deck of the ship where the remaining pieces had been of the things that you guys had destroyed. It crunches the little bits that crunch beneath your feet. Crunch like when mud hardens and it just is like real brittle.
Mhm.
And it's kind of basically like that. It just kind of crunches into a powder. But moments ago, it had been almost fluid and body-like, this webbing that had encased these creatures. But there is nothing except for like the pieces that Ardrin had found There is nothing that seems to have any sort of body to it. The shape that might be part of an arm just is hollow, where it's like smooth on the inside, as if something had once inhabited the inside of this creature or this casing, but is no longer there.
So I want to look for like a still intact cast off heart.
Mm-hmm. You can probably find like with that same roll, you probably find like just like a forearm and the weird like dual fingered grasping hand.
Okay, so then I'd want to like approach it, look at it, and just trace some sigils in the air, and I'll cast Detect Magic just to see if there's any trace left behind of anything.
Smart.
Okay.
And I also do a history or insight, like knowledge of the past check, since now that I have full memory.
Mm-hmm.
See if I remember anything about that.
Sure, go for it. Kindred,
which one?
Which whatever you are wanting to focus on.
Me? Huh?
No, North.
Okay.
Kindred.
23.
23. Okay. Which one are you using?
History.
History. Okay. Kindred, as you are looking over this piece, and your eyes do that brief little flash of light as you look over the almost like a cast of an arm. There's no magical essence to it left. It is literally as if you were staring at nothing before you.
Well, they're for sure gone. There's no traces left of them at all. But hey, Renan. Oh.
Perfect timing. North, as you are looking over this and you kind of dip into your senses, into the whatever history you can remember, your mind plays back over the timeline that you have at your disposal now, and nothing like this you have ever seen before.
Damn. I wasted a good roll.
Renan, did you see anything from the sky?
Not particularly, no. These things didn't have much of a form until they ran through the webs.
Before you answer, Renan, would you mind just going around the ship with me, just to see if there's any structure damage to the ship itself or any hidden surprises they tried to leave? While my eyes are glowing still.
Sure, I could do that. Oh, and you might have a better use of this. And I toss Frostbrand at North.
Attack roll. No.
You catch it, my friend?
Can you... I mean, I
Stand.
can do a dex check. Actually, I want to, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Or wait,
Stand.
would it be like acrobatics, or what would it be?
No, you're not dodging it, you're trying to catch
If
it.
you want to jump into the air and catch it mid-air, then it's
Then
an acrobatic.
yeah.
check.
Well, I mean,
Judge
yeah.
you.
I'll be kind of like surprised, and I'll try to like turn around and like grab it and like spin it in my hand to kind of like balance the weight, so kind of like twirling it.
So yeah, he wants it to be an acrobatics check.
He wants to flourish.
Flourish away.
Alright.
Anyway, you catch it. Well,
15.
yeah, you catch it. That's fine.
Just not
It's
as
not
coolly. I'm like, oh, I meant to do that.
Mhm.
I think Sonder makes a good point. If this thing came straight for us and ignored the village, then do you think it is safe to say it came from Thay?
Oh, we have a lot of enemies.
I'm inclined to agree with Soul, though.
Maybe not for that reason, though. I don't know if that's from Thay. Don't they typically deal with undead.
Mm-hmm.
That was no creature of nature.
But it was no undead. At least it didn't
No, but it was
feel
a
like
creep.
it.
It was a summoned creature nonetheless. A necromancer can shift his weight into summoning a creature such as an aberration with relative ease.
Fair
And
enough.
Either
One
way,
more thing.
they're dust now.
the masters of
Kick one of the like
Thay
little
deal
remnant
with all
plaster
kinds
things.
of magic.
It skitters across the deck of the ship, and just kind of as it tumbles, like pieces of it fall off and just kind of make
Ew.
more of a mess.
Well, my alarms are still up for the rest of the night, so y'all want to go below deck and calm our nerves and just relax for a bit? Try to piece this all together more?
I think we've spent enough time waiting. If it's night now anyway, then we may as well hit the sky.
I
I'm
can
inclined
agree
to
with
agree.
that. Sonda, what were you saying too?
I forgot.
Well, Kindred, did you want to go and take a look at the ship?
Ready when you are. I got like 6 minutes left.
While you take a second, just a half a second to like contemplate how much time you have left, I jump behind you and grab under your arms and take off.
I'm flying, Peter. No.
Oh no. Okay, so as you take off to make a circle around the ship, both of you make perception checks for me, if you will.
Oh, not an
Go ahead,
investigation.
Galil, do you want to head below deck with me and check out the elemental chamber? See if we can't get this thing ready to fly while Ilya's busy with the boys.
Yeah, someone has to do
Let's.
something to get this ready.
Fanch, you want to see how to start the airship up?
Sure.
I take her too, and we head down.
All right. So the three of you head down into the lowest decks of the ship. We get to what equates to be like the almost like a little closet-like room that the device that keeps the air elemental in its little pocket dimension is housed, and you begin the process of starting up the ship, getting it ready to go.
If I remember Grackle right, it's like this.
Alrighty. Fanch watches with interest as you guys start and turn some of the knobs and activate some of the runic symbols that are part of this contraption. Where are you wanting to go? Or what are you wanting to do? Once you start, I mean, what are you guys doing next? Like, once you get the ship going, what are you guys doing?
We're just getting it warmed up. And
Just
then
warmed up?
meanwhile,
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. Go ahead, Soul.
Soul's going to conjure beast, and it's going to summon 8 giant owls, just to double check the ground areas around this. I was gonna say the spaceship, around the airship, and then maybe also nearby the forest, just to see if we're missing some of them still left behind around on the ground.
Go
The
ahead
owls
We're the your word, right?
Yes, you were wood.
Okay.
They have keen hearing and sight with advantage on perception for hearing and sight, just in case you need to know.
Sure. Go ahead and make perception checks for them. And while you do that, Kindred and Renan, what did you guys roll?
I rolled a 9, so you caught me by surprise and something flew in my eye.
Well, so I rolled a 9 too, but
Oh,
advantage.
no.
So advantage, so 23.
Nice. Alrighty. So as you guys start circling around, you don't see anything of magical nature aside from the occasional blips that normally accompany your crewmen and parts of the ship. Nothing outside of the ordinary seems to catch your eye, Kindred. That being said, Renan, you can see where on the side of the ship there are some little scratches and indentations where the things had crawled up the side of the ship. They had kind of like dug into the wood with their talons and claws, but nothing that would cause significant damage. Just some minor
Cosmetic.
Yeah, cosmetic stuff, sort of stuff.
You know what gives it character?
Yep. All right, so finishing your little roundabout and the aisles, as you guys are flying around, you can see Sol on the surface of the on the deck of the ship as he starts to summon these giant owls that just then start flapping out and flying out past you guys and circling around the woods.
Just
Go ahead,
look
Renan.
up at Renan like, well, fuck our drag, right?
Wait, so are we in the sky yet, or were we just
No.
igniting?
Just warming up. Like when the helicopter's blades start spinning, but no one's going nowhere yet.
Okay, Forrest Gump.
But with that, I'm gonna go up. I'll pull myself up and put Kindred down on the deck and kind of run up next, like land next to Sol, and just kind of watch the giant owls fly off in bewilderment.
Okay.
Very entranced.
Yeah, so in my defense, I thought you guys were looking around the ship. My owls are going outwards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just gonna watch them fly off.
Okay.
But I'm very happy. I'm more so happy about this summon than I have been for any other that you've done so far.
But you don't like the
That's true.
Quetzalcoatlus?
I have no
Okay.
issue with the Quetzalcoatl.
He
Thank
just likes owls.
He's talking about your goats.
I'm going to try to go find Sonder.
Wow, where are you, Sanda? What are you doing? You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Muted.
I was next to Sol.
Okay.
I don't really have a particular thing to do, so I'm going to head down to assist in bringing the airship back up. I'll go hang out with Iskra.
Then
By
I
the way,
will
Aaron-
meet him down there with Iskra.
Yes.
While I'm walking around with everyone, I have blind fighting so I can see invisible creatures up 10 feet in front of me. What else? Just in
Yep.
case.
Nothing catches you by surprise.
I'm staying alert.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You did just fight a bunch of
It's
invisible
okay, Khalil. I
creatures.
remind him all the time too. I'm like, you best not surprise me, because
By the way, I forgot to
'cause we
mention
bet
I
to
got
run
a
it back.
17 on perception for the
17?
owls.
Okay. So North, you said you were looking for Sonder?
yes. And so I guess I'd like see him going down, and I just go down the other hatchway, and then just kind of see where he's going and follow him down.
Any particular reason you were just looking for Sonder?
Because I was going to try to catch up to him to talk about an issue.
Go for it. I
And
mean,
then-
you don't have to
yeah.
do it.
Yeah, all right. I mean, I don't know. Like, did anything happen, or do I reach him? Did I get lost? And-
Yeah, no.
Okay,
You
well,
don't get lost on a 3-deck ship. You're
Just
fine.
making sure. I mean,
You're good.
I blindsided 10 feet. Just thought I'd let you know. Anyhow. Sonder, you down here? Oh, hey.
I'm at the lower. I'm on the last floor.
Yeah, I see you over.
What's up?
Is Iskra around too?
Yeah.
She's
There's
helping.
it's Iskra
Is she,
and
like, right
Galil
there?
and Sonder and Fancher all down here. Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's
I didn't know how
Getting a
cramped
little
it was.
crowded in here. As I
Yeah.
in runes.
Is it loud in the?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a steam or coal engine kind of thing situation.
I was wondering if I could talk to you and Iskra, maybe up on the deck, right quick.
How much more time do we need to do here to set this up?
Usually the boys take care of it themselves, so if Galil and Vanch can take care of it, then I'm fine to go back up.
With my knowledge of working on this,
It's not a complicated process. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have. Okay. Yeah, Sparrow and Crackle have this. Can you teach Vanch how to do this, guys?
We were showing her a bit.
Not there.
Yeah, the boys are not there.
Oh.
They're with Grandma.
They're like having
That's what we were
family
trying to
moments.
say. Is that Iskra, Galil, and Fanch were taking care of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You got hit in the head. You're fine.
So yeah,
It's been a weird day.
if you guys want,
Case the Mondays.
if you guys need to go upstairs, you guys can go upstairs.
Okay. Yeah, let's head up.
I know y'all took me in from the town, and we made it out here kind of to safety. I'm just wondering, what's the next leg of the mission? How long? Or do y'all need any more help? I guess.
Well, we're flying by the seat of our pants, really. And
Seems to be the theme.
destination Thay. We'll figure it out as we go. We can't stay here any longer, though. I think that much is clear.
This is going to be a long-standing battle against Thay. If you want to join for the ride, then you're welcome to. But now that you are back to, we can understand if you want to go back to your grandmother or restart your life. We have a place in Atet if you need to stay there.
You know,
You want to continue with us?
I remember at the temple back in the town, y'all had mentioned something about going back to some sort of place where they hide stuff for these wizards. Is that where you think they did this to me? Or would I know that? DM.
It makes sense. The graveyard.
Place that you came from, what you remember of it, isn't the same. The place
I would
that
ask.
the place that you have
Then
memory of.
since I didn't know, then I would just ask them. That's good.
I don't really think so. We're supposed to be going somewhere that almost nobody knows the location of. What they did to you is
Okay.
important and something we need to stop too. But I don't think it's the same destination.
It did seem important, though, because, the spider lady who died, she really attached to Soul in a way, and I think she said something important to him about maybe the other druids or something that did this. Something about where I
Right.
came from.
The corrupted druids that had this capability, turning people into twisted versions of themselves mixed with Hobgoblin.
That's why she wanted Soul in the room with her. But
We want to find this place as well. But first thing is the graveyard.
well, I've already died, so when in Rome. Something my grandma used to say.
I've
Are
not
we
heard
up
of this
at
Rome
the-
place.
Top of the ship. I assume
Yeah.
we've been talking
Yeah.
while we're walking.
Yeah. Was that all you
Anything
want?
is? Yeah, and that was kind of my
Okay.
conclusory. Like,
Yeah. Arjun,
Grim.
go ahead.
So during all this, he's been still at the top of the deck, looking over this crumpled or crumbling plaster of a creature and putting a few thoughts and suspicions together in his head before he just decides to start reaching for something, anything, to start sweeping it off the deck properly instead of letting it sully the ship more than it already has. And
Yep.
he'll eventually do the same to the... Was there 2 other ones on the deck, or...
Yes.
I'm trying to remember, because was there a total of 3 on the deck?
There was a total of 4 creatures altogether, and one of them you killed out in the woods.
Yeah,
so,
but 3
yeah,
on
the
the
3
ship
on the
itself.
ship itself.
Yeah, so he'll...
I'll watch you sweep the first one off, and I just watch you, and I'll wait till you walk all the way across the ship, and then I'll cast Gust to blow it.
He'll get all the way, like, I guess, like, just shy of the next one that he was going to go to, and he'll just... You couldn't have fucking done that earlier.
Ain't no time like the present. How are you feeling?
Contemplative.
Wonderful.
For a split second, I thought one of them was going straight for me instead of the other 2. I don't know if that's just paranoia or what, but
Funny you say that. Can I talk to you privately?
I guess.
Okay, and then I'll look at the third one. I'll
Almost
just
over.
cast Gust and clear it off real quick then.
Okay.
We'll go down to my room. And you first. And as I open the door, I'm sure it is filled
I'm in the back.
with bird shit everywhere from Plume that's been like stuck in the
Oh.
room. It has like all these like servings, but it's been like left free in my room. So there's bird shit like everywhere, I bet.
Perfect. Sounds
I don't
good.
know what kind of evening you got planned, but count me the fuck out.
Oh, I forgot about this.
He's just gonna step all the way back out into the corridor and like take
I'll just-
several steps back.
I'll just like prestidigitation, like clean it off. Be like, oh, here you go. I'll get to this later. But did you hear? Well, once you get in and I shut the door, like, did you hear those things talk at all?
Just a quick conferring with Aaron. I think I may have heard it do deep speech. I
Yes.
don't know if I heard it speak
You heard
in
it,
Elven
deep speech.
or common. I'm trying to remember.
It was speaking in Elvish, and I think you were on the front half of the ship when it happened. So
I probably missed it then.
probably
Well,
missed it.
because one of them talked to me, and then the other one yelled at like him and Renan, saying like, "Disgusting elves, I'll kill you."
Yes. This
Okay.
Is this is true.
Yeah, so he should have heard it from the Elvish part.
The Elvish
Yeah, that
part.
was in Elvish because Renan was able
Okay,
to
I
respond.
just wanted to double
right?
check.
So
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought I heard one of them speak properly towards the end.
In Elvish, right?
Sounded like it.
It's
Accent was a little off.
one spoke to me as well. Like it was intelligent. in a weird way. It wasn't just savage.
It did seem oddly focused. It was the first one we ran into.
It's strange. It caught me off guard. It's just weird.
I got two theories that kind of stem from the same source.
Care to extrapolate?
Lolth.
As in the goddess? She's the goddess, right? DM?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's what she likes to style herself as. I happen to disagree. And that may lie the problem. See, there tends to be a bit of a story that goes around the drow that any of my kind that besmirches her unholy name get hunted down in some fashion.
I can give you one guess who that might have been, because it wasn't me.
My other thought, well, no, I've vocally been a little bit ornery in regards to her. The other thought is, and he's going to point up at the circlet. I don't know exactly where this comes from, but the fact that it has any kind of domain over spiders maybe pisses Lolth off in some fashion. Those are just my thoughts. I don't really have any concrete proof one way or the other.
But why would a god have personal interest in you, if you don't mind me asking?
Less personal interest and more PR. Can't have the group of people you ostensibly control talking shit about you. So I think it's more just a general policy rather than a personal vendetta.
What you're saying is you need to be on your best behavior now.
Well, fuck no.
Like that would happen with any of us.
Well, there's that and the fact that I refuse to bow and scrape and be afraid of that bitch.
You know, surprisingly, it seems the drow and the high elf aren't so different in certain regards.
Well, at least this drow.
And this high elf.
It's kind of looking around this room like...
Renard's head just like phases through the wood and like, and reach here, and then phases back.
Yeah, I have my work cut out for me tonight. I was going to offer you to stay if you needed a room, but I don't think you want to stay here, at least for the first night. I'll clean this all up. As I look at Plume, and she's just like staring at me like, you fucker, you left me.
I think you got that relationship to salvage, so.
All right. Well, if you need anything, I'll be down here. I'll see you in a little bit.
Will do. And he's actually going to try and find the room where he did stow his bag.
Yeah.
Wherever. He didn't really pick a specific room, just whichever bedroom was open.
Yeah.
Be right back. Aaron, delivery here.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that is kind of depends on you. You do have the option of going to there are I think there's still one room on the middle deck that hasn't been taken that had once belonged to Aliquin, and then we have several rooms on the lower deck that are more like group spots. They have they're bigger rooms with hammocks in them. What were you gonna say, Isra?
I think there's about 3, because there's Aliquin's old room, there's Aelin's old room.
Oh yes, I forgot Aelin was on.
And then there's a couple other of unclaimed rooms down on that row too, on the middle.
So you do have some options there in the middle.
He would go with whichever one has not shown signs of recent occupation.
Okay. For sure then.
So whichever one is just like the most recently
vacated.
Yeah, or no, not recently vacated, but just the one that's been least occupied.
Occupied. Yeah.
Pretty
Probably.
sure
Yeah.
there's one kind of near the ballistas that is in like Grandma Illy and Sparrow and Crackle's rooms.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great. Sleeping near the train tracks is bad enough. Going to ballistas off. Ooh.
Yes. So easy enough. You do find a room that is. I will say that it was Aylin's old room.
Okay. Does it look like it's been
Not in several months. It's basically an empty berth at this point because
okay?
it hasn't been used since he left, and that was like back in Silvery Moon.
What do the interior of the rooms look like? Is it just an empty cot and bare bulkheads, or?
Yeah, the ones here in the center were made for distinguished guests, whereas the ones that were down below were more for the crew of the ship. So those are a little more everyone kind of bunking together kind of thing. So these are not like super fancy, but they do have a bunk that is like built partially into the wall a little bit enough to where and like nailed in place so it doesn't move. And has I wouldn't even say a full railing, but the edges of the bunk come up from the mattress a little bit to prevent you from like rolling off in the case of harsh or inclement weather. There's a little drawer that you can stuff your clothes into, and I believe that there is like a small desk that can kind of like either, depending on which room it was, but the smaller rooms will have it to where it kind of sits down so you can sit on the bed and then use it as like a desk while you're sitting there.
Oh, so a normal bed, but a Murphy desk.
Yes.
Okay.
While Kindred and Soul, I think it have like larger rooms that actually have like some shelving and stuff in them too.
But as I recall, I think Aylin's is the one that was one of the ones that had a small amount of stuff because he didn't really care to do a whole lot with it.
Yeah, Arjun would be fine with just a place to sleep.
Cool. All right. And the rest of you?
Have we gone airborne yet?
No.
Okay. So Soul's gonna stay up above deck and just be attentive, seeing if his owls come back with any information.
Okay.
Can I see the owls from the top of the deck?
Sure. They're kind of just circling around in the starry, bright moonlight, circling over the forest, and they haven't seen anything that would have caused them to bring anything of interest back to you, Soul.
Okay. Well, they last
still
for
just gazing
4
at the
hours.
owls.
No, I'm sorry, up to 1 hour. Last before.
Okay.
Soul, do you speak Elvish?
I do.
I'm trying to think of a good word for it. Dreamy, I guess, tone. Renan in Elvish is watching as he watches an owl pass back over, just says, beautiful. And watches it.
They would be pretty beautiful since they are basically Fae summons. Well, it's still a beast, but the whole summoning thing. So there would be a little bit of like a mystical look to them.
Let's see.
What's that?
Yeah.
All right. What are you guys doing?
I will head to the navigation room.
Okay. You can
I'm gonna
see.
patch up my wounds.
Okay. Those have already been taken care of earlier when everybody was together on the beginning.
I only have 67 max hit points, so trying to just relax and like gain those back from the thing that happened, like meditate them out, I guess.
Those will have to be after a long rest.
Yeah.
Those will return.
That'll be like.
Okay, so Iskra, you're going up to the navigation section. It is currently empty and devoid of anybody in it, as Illy is still in her room or in the boys' room, you imagine. A couple of the consoles there on the controls where she normally stands are lit and ready, showing the magic surging through the system as the airship is prepared for use and is now activated.
A bit more complicated than I remember. Look around at the panels of the refurbished Reclaimer 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any like maps or anything in here?
There's a few, yes.
Are they currently out where I can see them?
Yep. Oh, they're on the navigator's desk. There is some.
Okay. I'm gonna pour over the map and see if there's any marks that have been made on it. Try to identify where we're at.
Okay.
Generally where we're trying to go.
You do have a couple of maps that are of the best maps that we have are the ones that are going to be for Faerun itself. This side of the map, a lot of them look like they are not as detailed or as filled in, but there are some there that seem to include the peninsula that you guys are currently on here, right at the edges of Thay.
I'll just kind of stare at these maps.
Sure.
Like,
is there anything particular you're looking for on them, or just kind of looking at them to familiarize yourself with what is there?
familiarizing myself and then kind of looking at like within Thay, do we have like population centers marked and stuff? Because I'm kind of trying to see like where are areas of dense habitation and where aren't.
Okay. Let me see. So looking at the map, if you will indulge me, I'm going to see if this will work. I think we did have it to where we can do the media.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in our little spots, but let's see if it works. Yeah, it worked. All right.
Hey,
Ooh.
I have to
So
look at the map like this, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
paying attention.
So currently you guys are located in, we'll say it's like basically right in here, somewhere between the U and the I and the Yorewood. You're very much in the very densest middle of the Yorewood itself.
We came from Spendelian, right?
Veltalar, which is the old name. This Velprintalar is the old name for it. It's called Veltalar now. Spendelian is over here. So when you guys had been crossing the sea from Prokrampur, you guys had managed to kind of survive the shipwreck and make it to this coastline before journeying to Spendelion and then journeyed along the coast to Veltalar, which is right there. And then traveled south to this point. There has been a couple of I wish not all of these were on here, but that's fine. There are a couple of cities that Fanch had mentioned that she had been to. There is the furthest one in is this city here of Nethjet. There's a couple of other smaller cities that are along, or smaller towns and outposts that are along a path that kind of leads from here along this mountain range and up this direction. So the amount of experience that she has is in this. Do you guys see my cursor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is in this, like, basically this range. She hasn't been anywhere this side. In conversations with North, he had been traveling in this direction basically to get back. So he's been this way. but had passed around Amrum Talar because of wanting to avoid getting too far into any heavily Red Wizard Thay cities itself, but had come along this direction. So you know of at least this city. Bezantour is also a big port city. It's sitting there at the edges of Thay territory. But interestingly enough, Thay territory kind of tends to be this raised plateau that's like their for sure territory, and everything else around it is either allies or vassal city, like country states that are around it. There we go. Can I give you a little more of a view of where everything is? Okay. So that's basically kind of gives you an idea of what the map that we have, or that you guys have.
It's like trying to find a single person in Ravnica without scrying.
All right. It takes a moment, and then you hear the little knock on the doors. Fanch comes in. You all right?
I'm doing just fine. How about yourself?
All
You
things
survived the fight.
Oh, well, to be fair, I wasn't exactly in it either.
Probably best. We get you a little more training first.
It did kind of sneak up on me a little faster than I had anticipated. Anyway, everyone seems a little uneasy. I'm imagining that's kind of normal given the circumstances, but
With everything that's happened over the past few days and the size of the task that's before us, I think it's going to take us a bit to really absorb it all.
yeah, I suppose that makes sense. She comes over and walks up to the maps. Anywhere in particular that strikes your fancy? Knowing where we're gonna go?
I'm not sure.
Should I go get everybody else, or are you just kind of perusing for yourself at the moment?
Yeah, this is probably a decision best made together. When your husband was traveling, did he have any important clients buying his robes?
To be honest, I felt like they were all rather important to a certain degree anyway. He would have me treat them all as if they were very important, I suppose. Whatever we could do to try and ease their alliances to us, make sure that they stayed buying things. So I suppose to a certain degree they all kind of had a little bit of an elevated status, but I'm pretty sure that a couple of them maybe were on the more of the high to-do list, but I wasn't really paying attention. I'm sorry.
Well, the reason I ask is we're trying to look for something that nobody's supposed to know about. But when we were in Silvery Moon, one thing I learned about the Thayans is they like having leverage over each other. So if any of these important people had been doing some digging for themselves, maybe we could find their notes. It's not much to go on, but it's all I can think right now.
If I was to try and find one that was probably the biggest honcho, she points over at the map at Nethjet. that one, that city here, there was Do you know what a knoll is?
Do I know what a null is?
Probably not. Make a
Yes.
history check.
You should.
Oh, yes. Yes, you have met one before.
Okay. Whether or not you know
But he
that's
probably wouldn't have said, "Hi, I'm a null."
Right.
Or she.
Yeah, it was a she, as I recall, because it was
Yeah.
the one of the Wizards of Evermore. Back in
Exactly.
Silver
Yeah, I
Emerald.
remember now.
Give me like 2 seconds. I'll find the name.
My history
Overoff.
check was a
Overoff.
19.
19. At first, no, when she asks, and then you start thinking about it, because this was something that was from this plane, this place, and then you do kind of remember Overoff from Silver Moon.
Yeah, I think so.
So, there's this one strange, I guess you could call it a creature. It was very particular on the type of robes that it was using. So, it kind of stuck out in my head. It was, and as I recall, that was something more of a head honcho, I guess. There was something. I'm sorry, my nerves are a little shot. I'm trying to remember as best as I can on the spot, but there was something about that null that made me or led me to believe that maybe it was a little higher on the totem pole than the rest of the people that we had supplied to.
Well, Kindred told me Thans shaved their heads to show their status. I don't know what a shaved null would look like, but...
Well, this one didn't have any hair ornamentation, I suppose. I mean, it still was covered in fur a little bit. Also kind of mangy. So there was a little bit of skin there. It was not exactly the most pleasant sight.
I kind of fold my arms, thinking to myself, this was a head honcho?
Yeah. It was like, they were just very, very, very undead-ish.
Oh.
Might be a place to start, I guess.
I'm gonna call in the pipes in the navigation station to everybody. Trying to decide on our next destination in the navigation room.
Would I have any knowledge being from a distant area and being a soldier for a while?
Of what?
Of any cities or places to look out for or go to, or...
That's why I had mentioned earlier that you had talked to them already and mentioned one city that you had avoided.
Okay. I mean, if there was anything else.
Nope. That was it. All right. Ooh,
I kind of don't want to leave, so I'm just I'll let that one go to left on red. As I'm cleaning my room, fucking bird shit.
Okay.
Arjun will meander his way through an unfamiliar ship towards where he thinks all this is.
Yeah. Navigation room's pretty. You have an idea where it's at. It's the one where they tend to
navigate,
control the ship.
Instructions unclear. Ended up on the International Space Station.
I'm in a different dimension.
We're in Area 51.
And the rest of you guys?
Well, I have no idea where I'm going.
Wow. You don't get anybody talking, then you get everyone all at once. One at a time.
Patient.
Try it again.
What time of the night is it?
I am heading to the navigation room
Okay.
with Oreo.
With Oreo. Sonder.
I'm gonna have Sunder go to bed.
Sonder's going to bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thunder Sweepy.
Renan.
I'm gonna continue watching the elves because I also don't have much of a clue as to where the navigation room is.
You know, you've been on the ship enough.
I've been on this ship for
You
like
talked to Illy
half an
in
hour.
there.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
you know
still
where
gonna stay on the
on the deck. Suddenly randomly talking. Oh, now it's reconnecting.
Hey.
Yay!
Yay.
Welcome
All
back
right.
to the dungeon.
We are back. We are having a
Your
little bit of a
dungeon, Kindred.
computer lag. So as everybody is gathering together to discuss where the plans are next, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
My sun and moon sign are both Taurus.
Ooh,
No
Welcome
wonder you're
back.
a stubborn ass.
you stubborn
Who gives a
bastard.
shit?
I'm just kidding.
I'm okay with this.
That explains so much.
You know what though? You know how to enjoy the good things in life though.
Yeah,
You
I've
know
always
you're
questioned
Like
therapy
orange sherbet.
because
Like
I can
orange
afford
sherbet
therapy.
or
Nice
cake
grab.
or cake. All right, so
Hey, I have a headache right now. I'm trying to
yeah, no,
calm down.
Yeah, you're good.
You know, before we get back into it, although I'm an obscure character, I'm really happy with how my makeshift Halloween costume turned out.
you not only had a
Please
costume,
notice the details in the background.
you not only had a costume, but you had props, and beyond props, you had like a setup in the background. So I think
Yeah.
you win.
You had the whole get up.
Yeah, you win. You win the prize. Good job.
Surprise.
Surprise. You win a surprise. You win a surprise. I'm not sure what the surprise is yet, but you
Ooh.
win it.
I was going to say, if I didn't know there was a
Yay?
surprise, I would have worn my actual costume.
That wasn't the
there's-
surprise.
There's
You know what?
always
That was-
Sometimes like the last minute
that was a
costumes
hint.
are the best.
Question, Iskra. In your playthrough, did you save Kate?
Yes, I did.
Did
Or
you
last.
Did you choose Chloe or the town?
I chose Chloe.
Yeah.
And then in Life is Strange 2, I made a similar decision. Which, oh boy, lore dumplings, we'll talk about that, I think.
Yeah.
But like the psychology behind those
Next
decisions.
on more
'cause
dumplings.
I've
You know,
got
that-
some things
that
to say.
Yeah, that would be
I
fun.
love-
We'll do
Life was strange.
we'll do
Mhm.
lore dumplings about like storylines in video games or our favorite storylines in video games.
Yeah,
I don't think
that
I
sounds
know. I don't think I know about Life is Strange. That's what it's called.
Mhm.
fun. Yeah. Oh,
It's so
wonderful
good.
games.
It's great.
I don't know what
You
that
got a
is.
PS4, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, try it out.
If
It's
you have Steam, the first episode, I believe, is free.
How many episodes are there?
so many, like 6. No, way more than that.
So many.
So
Okay,
I'm-
Grog.
I'm debating highly on
At
using
least
my
6.
TV as my like the character picture on D&D Beyond
Yeah.
on the portrait.
All right.
Looks
So
like a cherub.
well, let us
Yes.
reel
We
this
digress.
in. Yeah, let us reel this back in.
All right,
Um,
I'm looking at a map,
You guys, yes.
talking to Fanch,
Fanch, is there Ardren
getting
is named-
ghosted by Kindred.
ghosted by Kindred. You just have the little dot of the message that's like refilling and then nothing. Oh my god, I hate that. That is literally the worst.
I'm like, just push enter.
Ardren scene, yeah. So Ardren is on his way there. Galil's on his way there. Renan is watching the owls for the moment.
Sunder tries to go to sleep, but he's that like weird I can't go to sleep thing where you're staring at the ceiling for a while and it's like, no, never mind, I'm gonna get up.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go find the people.
All right. Soul.
He wants to be you or the people. are.
So okay, at this point, are we airborne yet?
No, that is still on
Okay.
the ground.
There's a reason why I'm asking because I plan on role playing at that point as
Yeah.
well. But Soul is pretty much just hanging out next to his favorite pole, if you guys remember. Well, it'll happen again when we go airborne. In any case, he's just still hanging out there. Has it been an hour yet?
It's probably approaching.
Dance,
Okay.
Druid, dance.
Before the hour is through, he's gonna. Well, the owls will know to come back before then, and then he'll just get a briefing from them in some
Sure.
form or fashion.
North, what are you doing?
I figure for right now, since we're not airborne yet, then I'm going to kind of walk out of the ship and just kind of take in this area one last time because it was so kind of breathtaking besides the fight. To be in such a magical, different place, and also to where I've made like a crazy amount of memories, literally. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna breathe it all in.
Kindred, your
Cleaning up bird shit.
your alarms don't register for the people that are on here, the crew, right? It's just if anybody
Correct.
that you don't know. Okay, just making sure.
Like all of our crew is accounted for, can pass in and out freely.
Okay. North, as you are walking along the outside of the ship and just kind of like keeping an eye out of the into the forest, you can see the little twinkling of the lights, the little like fireflies and things as they dance in and out of the magic there in the Fey infused forest of the Yorwood.
As I'm walking, I'm kind of, because I remember from joining the army or whatever, the military.
Yeah.
I smoke, so I'm kind of rolling like a little cigarette, just kind of take in everything as I walk.
North's vape stick. Oh my god. I love
I don't
it.
even have it. Oh, yeah, I do.
Still one of Granny's twigs.
Just stole one of the Granny's twigs, 100%.
It's a Fey blunt.
There is this weird moment of like the darkness that kind of pools around you as you're walking. Something that kind of reminds you of that shadowy other self of yours. And with each step that you make, it is this weird, like, rippling effect almost of. It's not even like whispers. It's just like the darkness pools around you deeper.
Is any of this because of the magic Fey flower, or?
You're not sure. It's just something about as you're walking around, it's just like a pool of darkness that kind of just like slowly envelops around you, and it's not like it's obscuring everything. It's just you feel like the shadows are heavier around your body.
Am I kind of like deep in the woods now, kind of like private?
I'm figuring you're just walking around the ship, aren't you? Or did you walk into the woods?
I figured I'd take a couple steps because I'd feel like that's more where the darkness is. So I'd try to like maybe veer off a little bit.
If you're
get
actually
closer.
going into the woods, it's more towards where there's light, because that's where all the like little fireflies and like that fey magic-y light is. So you just kind of step
move into
around
the shadows.
You step around the ship to where like there's more of an open clearing on this side, and to where there's almost like a shadow cast on the ground.
Then I'd put my hood up as well.
Okay. Stepping into this shadowed section of the ship, and you're like looking up into the way the moon is casting this shadow and just kind of like obscuring this light, and you step into the full darkness and shadow, and there's just suddenly nothing. And you realize as you're no longer stepping on grass. You're just stepping on darkness. And
what's my blind side telling me? Like, is there anything around me that I can
sense? Nothing. And it was this weird, just like quasi moment of just one step in front of the other before that shadow just kind of overtakes you.
I want to kind of do a trust fall kind of thing. Because I feel like I'm in some sort of void.
It does feel like you are in a void.
So I'm going to kind of put my hands out and then close my eyes. Not like shutting them, but just lightly. And fall back.
And you feel that sensation of falling. And there's no ground. You just continue to fall into this shadow. And there's no movement.
I feel like I'm spinning round and round, or
there's just no sensation whatsoever. It's just you and like the feeling of your breath in a void.
So what I would do now that I'm trying to grasp more of the situation, I'm gonna try to kind of control myself like I do the echo, almost like astral project. I'm just kind of try to control myself with my eyes closed, picture my body, even picture my echo within, and just kind of feel like I'm trying to float up, like my trying to lift my body up without really like pushing off anything, just trying to work with the void. Do I get anything kind of
Nothing. Just hear nothing. You feel nothing. You open your eyes and you see nothing. You close your eyes and it's that same darkness of
not
nothing.
going up or down?
No feeling. And then you hear a woman's voice. It whispers. Who are you? Who are you?
Formerly known as North? I think I might change that. Who are you? I didn't bring myself here, I don't think.
No. No, you did not. You are caught my eye.
I'm gonna kind of like turn my head and move my body as if I'm turning, because that just kind of feels normal, but I guess I'm kind of just doing it for shits and gigs because I don't feel anything. So I'm just like, where are you?
You'll find me soon enough.
Wait.
And that feeling now of falling returns to you, and you land on the grass.
On my ass? Or
On your ass on the grass. And it was just like the quickest moment of like that trust fall of you falling, there being no sensation, and then being gone. And back again. Suddenly that fall returns and you're just like, it's almost as if you had literally just fallen backwards onto the grass.
oh, my back.
Yeah. You kind of get back up and brush yourself off, looking around, make sure no one has seen you. Meanwhile, everybody on the ship.
Before I'm gonna despise murmur Renan only. Hey, you busy?
You're muted.
No. I'm sitting there just petting one of the owls.
And then it vanishes on you.
Oh.
My head
Sorry.
snaps the soul.
What did you
glare.
do? You touched it, didn't you? How dare you? Just kidding.
It was so fluffy. I guess I'm not busy anymore. Where are you at? Do you need help?
I'm on the ground near the bow of the ship.
You
If you wanna-
walk over to the side and you kind of peer on the side and you can see him standing in the shadow of the ship from the light.
Can you kind of see my orangish eyes kind of glow in the moon since it's dark and or anything like that?
I was not aware your eyes were glowing orange, but yes, I suppose.
Well, not like
Shadow
glowing, not glowing, but like orangish tinted.
From
I
this
do see color.
If it's
I do see
Renan-
color better in the dark. Yeah.
Since it's Renan, yes. Anybody else? No. You're not that close.
With that, like looking over, I just kind of tip myself forward. Like Soul's just sitting there and watches me do a suicide, like woo, off the side of the ship.
Oh yeah, falling over the side.
He could fly. He's fine.
Your concern is admirable. And then like as I get about halfway, I open my wings and glide out in front of him and land.
I was gonna echo up to you.
Oh, I was gonna say there's a ramp over there. It's still down.
I didn't feel like walking.
That's fair. And I reach out and grab his sides. Take off towards the deck.
Alrighty.
I set you down and I land. I'm like, I really like this band of strength. It makes my life a lot easier.
Yeah, I can see that. Must come in handy. I kind of fix myself.
What seems to be the problem?
Well, I know you're the spiritual one out of most of us here. Do you know anything about a void of darkness that you randomly fall into and voices whisper in your head, or maybe I'm just smoking too much?
Well, a void of darkness? No. When I fall into a void, it tends to be like a void of storm clouds. But soon enough, my wings can catch me. And I'm just surrounded by lightning.
Wait. Oh. So, you said when you go into this trance, this thing,
If you want to call it that.
It's surrounded by what your god is.
Yeah.
I think it's just been a long few nights. I haven't gotten much rest. I think I'm just overthinking things.
Well, the last time that something like that happened to me, per se, was actually the last time that I was taken to a new world. When I was brought here. I was walking along and then I was falling, surrounded by clouds and lightning, and a bolt of lightning caught me and I started falling into this world. That's how it usually goes anyway.
Well, I think I'm a little more simpler than that. I think whoever runs the upstairs is going to be up there. I don't know. I just need to get some rest.
You mean like an inn? Like inn above a tavern?
No. I'll talk to you in the morning.
All right. I hope you get to feeling a little more yourself then. Or more yourself than you were.
I've already kind of started walking away, but I just kind of wave over my shoulder. I'm like, it's just the earwood getting to me.
Renan's in an unusually good mood because of the giant owls.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody else.
I wasn't prepared for giddy Renan.
Everybody else, as you guys are gathering together in the navigation room, standing around the maps. You guys see the spread of the peninsula before you and a little bit of Thay.
So we're here, and I kind of point since I've been checking out the map. The graveyard could be almost anywhere over here.
It's an awful lot of ground to cover.
Exactly. My thought is the Thayans always seem to be trying to get a leg up on one another. Even though the location of the graveyard is supposed to be a secret, someone who isn't very powerful but might want to be more so may have an interest in finding it out. Fanch's husband had a few clients who would buy their nicer robes. She thinks one of them might have been an important person, or relatively. If it's a long shot, but if they've done any research on the location, maybe we can dig something up.
I
I mean, it's a good enough place to start as any.
Yeah.
would I have reached the navigation post since it's kind of up there?
Are you going there or are you going to bed?
Yes. I was gonna head right there. I was just kind of trying to get away from.
Giddy Renan, get it.
Yeah. I'm trying to cool the tension.
Are there any other giant owls left?
No, they all vanished at the same time.
So actually, with that realization, my giddiness is going to fade, and I'll head for the navigation room too.
Alrighty.
And by the time I get there, the giddy version of Renan that North just had to witness, and the more laid back Renan have once again switched places.
Got it.
But I'll kind of walk up behind whoever's at the map, which I assume is Iskra.
Yeah, everyone's kind of sitting around the table
Yeah.
right now looking down at it.
I've traveled through a lot of the sands and the land there. I can at least help you tell you where you don't have to look. At least where I didn't see anything. So I can at least narrow down our options.
And help us. We're in an interesting situation, right? We want to avoid being discovered, but we also need to cover a lot of ground or talk to people, investigate somehow. So knowing the places to avoid, or at least knowing which each of the places are, so we can decide whether we want to steer clear or dig in.
You showing them the map. Once again, you go over the direction that you had come through. And it was... You want me to show you the map again for clarification? Or does everybody remember?
Pretty good.
We're good. Well, I am.
Okay. So it's still along... It was a very straight path. It kind of went along the river. Oh my god, what is this called again? Lapendar. We're gonna change this name.
Lipitor.
The river Lipitor.
Labrador.
Leprechaun?
The river Laprador.
Lapdor.
Laputa.
Oh god. Anyway, you had gone along this river. Basically, is the route that you had taken. You had followed this river as close as you could to get back to Algaron. The only city that you had passed by was Amrutalar, which was like kind of a big city that is on this big trading route that cuts through Thay. That was the only city that you had been around, and you had kind of avoided it because of how much of a Thayan presence there was in this place. So there's Labradoodle. There is that passage. That's as much knowledge as you have as awaking, coming to consciousness there along that river and following it back home. What about the rest of you? What are you guys doing?
Barely finished cleaning up the last of the bird shit, and I'm just looking at Plume like I deserve that one, and I'll like console her and start bedding down to trance for the night.
Okay. Sonder, or are you meeting up with everybody else? Are you muted again? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Galil then is there. Renan, Ardrin, Fanch, and eventually Illy joins you as well.
So I'm gonna like rub my hands in my hair, kind of press on my forehead. So, Fanch, where did this guy live? This client, this undead Knoll?
Ulden. His name was Ulden. It just came to me. Nethjet. He lived in Nethjet. It was like a kind of like a port city that was off of a river or a lake that kind of winds up running into the Sea of Fallen Stars.
Was it off a lake Lapdodol?
No, that's further south. No, this is north. It's there's like two cities that kind of sit on opposite sides of this larger swath of river, I suppose. It's not quite a lake because it's just part of the river that flows through it, but there's a bigger section of it, and she points down at the spot, and I remember him living there. He was an apprentice to somebody. That's why I remember him thinking he was like a bigwig. He was one of the apprentices to, I don't know, whoever is higher up, I guess.
Might be someone that's motivated to try and move up.
Exactly. It's a stab in the dark still, but at least we're stabbing at something, right?
I mean, that's what seems like you guys are really good at, is doing the whole bunch of the stabbing business.
Get a sense of his demeanor.
Creepy. Kind of giggled a lot. I don't know if that was a Knoll thing or if that was just a him thing.
Do you strike you as ambitious?
I mean, I was more of the stand here, look pretty, don't talk while, hubby was doing his thing. But, I mean, I guess. I hadn't really paid much attention to him, aside from those couple of weird little quirks that he has. But I guess it's as good a place as any to look. I mean, he had the run of the place, it seemed like.
That's my feeling. I guess then, really the only other thing to decide is, should we avoid that city that North found, or should we stop there first? I could see benefits to either.
Fanch just kind of shrugs her shoulders a little and is like, I mean, I'm good with either one. I mean, I've been to that.
Look around the room.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if they are still looking for us, they're probably figuring we're trying to get to where they are. But if we go kind of the path that I took, we can stay out of detection. Once we reach the city, we can go up and around and then go back down south to where that Knoll guy is.
Well, he's north. The city you're talking about is south of that city. We could stop there along.
Point on the map.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. I'm talking bonkers then.
we can
Scratch that, reverse it.
Scratch that, flip it, and reverse it.
Yeah.
We can definitely try going there. I mean, if it's as big of a fortified city where you stayed away from it. I mean, I remember we passed through it, but I wasn't exactly, doing any of the sightseeing. I was just kind of along for the ride. So who knows what we can find there? I'm sure there's got to be something. And then from there, maybe go north.
Maybe a slightly practical question is, if we're taking this ship, where are we going to be able to park it?
Illy kind of butts in at this point and just like, that's not a problem we're gonna have to worry about. As long as we can stay outside of the city, this ship's got a few surprises. Plus, I think Sol was doing a good job of keeping it disguised once we were on the ground. Once we're in the air, we have some arcane methodology in place to keep us from being too easily spotted.
In the past, when Kindred looked like I knew them, we would use that to our advantage. There are so many hobgoblins and Thay. if ever a patrol got close, we would pretend to be Thayans, since they're the only ones that have airships. They are probably keen to the fact that we've got one now, though. What with Silvery Moon?
Maybe. We still got, I think I got a couple of the old Red Wizard robes downstairs that we could use if they need to. I mean, it'll give you something to work with at least.
And I seem to remember Galil had picked up some disguises from Salvador back in Atet when we left. I don't know if they survived the crash. I look towards Galil.
Galil. They were talking to you.
Or thing.
You're muted.
Yeah. Sorry. I honestly don't know where to go. To be fair, I'd rather stay away from the bigger cities.
Did any of the costumes that you got from Salvador, the disguises, did they survive the shipwreck?
I kind of had to get new ones, but they're in my bag.
Some of us still have our cloaks.
I might have some things in my disguise kit y'all can use.
I'm gonna pull it, go into my bag, use enlarge, reduce, pull it out, and put it on the ground before I make it expand again.
It might be too bold to be the goats again. I look at Saunder.
No, it's the box filled up with all the red wizard robes.
I hate saying that word too. Don't worry.
Red wizard robes.
Red wizard robes.
Yep. Say that
5
times
yeah.
fast.
Yeah. Well, I, for one, as far as the potential of going to a city like this, it's possible that they may already assume that we're going after the graveyard, but they don't know exactly where in Thay we might be heading toward. This sounds like a potential deviation from a standard strategic course. As in, I don't think our enemies are going to assume this is where we're going. It's a reasonable location to go to.
I agree. Unless they've divined on us, I don't think they know that that's where we're headed.
Oh yeah, I think that was one of the things that we worked out with the Reclaimer. It's not impossible for them to just scry on us, but we added a little extra layers to the hull. Makes it a little more difficult for them to work it out.
That's relief.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. This thing's fucking rad.
It's amazing what a little sheet of metal will do to mess with a mage's mind.
I wish I would have been there when we claimed it.
Lightly, like just ever so slightly, looks over at Kindred and giggles to myself.
Oh, Kindred's still in his room. Kindred's still in his room.
Oh, right.
I never came up there.
Then thinks of Kindred and giggles to myself. How's
Creeps down to Kindred's door and giggles.
He just opens the door. Ha ha.
Slightly opens it.
Ow.
Don't laugh, Galil, it hurts.
It really does.
All right. So, as
It's like 3 a.m, right?
it's like midnight.
Oh, I thought it was later.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Well,
yeah, y'all get a good rest when I'm all refreshed and ready to go.
All
are
right.
we
So,
ready to-
so we head in that general direction come morning then.
Yes, apparently.
If
Come
we
on,
need to sleep,
or-
I'd rather fly now. It's dark. No one will see us.
True.
we can sleep
can-
in shifts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Galil
sorry.
and I got the engines warmed up too.
Yeah, I noticed that. You guys seem pretty eager to leave.
Or care to take a shift on the deck with me?
Sure, let's do it.
You're the captain, though, ma'am.
I would feel safer trying to start at first light just because of everything that's been going on tonight. I feel like all of you guys deserve a little bit of a rest on a stable ground before we take off on this new venture. If you're worried about being seen, don't worry about it. We got that part covered. I'm more concerned about you guys surviving the next time that we have a fight. That's what I'm worried about. We push you too hard now, who knows what's going to happen later. But I may be the captain, but you're all paying me, so I'm just here on your orders.
We're paying you?
You're paying me.
With love.
Put it on Carp's bill.
I look at Galil. That's
put it
an
on
option.
the tab.
And here I thought you were here because you liked all of us.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You guys are, nice to
She
look
likes
at.
most of us, and I look at Renan.
You guys aren't bad on the eyes either, I suppose. But a girl's got to make a living,
Of course.
It's not cheap maintaining this beauty.
Watches the wrinkles just like furl and unfurl.
And with that, I leave the room.
Before I exit with Renan, I'm gonna walk over to Grandma Eileen and be like, I think you're exactly right. I'm gonna kindly take her cigarette from her.
Oh.
Oh.
He's dead.
Ejected.
You see-
I take a step back.
You see the biggest look of surprise on her face as you do that. She's just like, okay, maybe I spoke too soon. I like most of you. Some of you, oh boy, you might not want to sleep tonight. And she walks past you, but doesn't do anything else or say anything else.
I just kind of smirk.
As
I'd
I
take
walk
her word
out
for
the
it if
door,
I were
I
you.
lightly smack the back of North's head.
All right. So, she goes downstairs for a minute to gather some things. Are you guys wanting to leave tonight during the night, or are you wanting to leave first thing? It's completely up to you guys. She will do whatever you say, or whatever you prefer, I should say.
I say leave now.
Morning's fine.
I'm good with getting underway now.
What is it that the Thay wanted to do with that? And I point to the giant log.
Oh, that's
Oh,
in
Towards
that's
the
downstairs.
giant
Off
log.
the bow.
Towards the
No.
giant log.
Yeah.
So you point downstairs.
Like scratch
Yeah.
my head like, oh yeah. Go out the door.
I guess Renan's got some plan for it.
Okay.
I'm all right leaving now still if there's other people who want to. We can just sleep in turns.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
I poke my head back in.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Here. I pull out and give each one of you robes. Only problem is I only have 7 of them.
I have a cape of disguise.
They're the red wizard robes.
Thank you. I did play a
I
bodyguard in the past. I could always stick to that.
I stare at. Oh wait. No,
well,
it's
I know
good
one
that
of
I don't
these
need it.
kindreds, so
I know I'm not there, but I doubt there's one that fits Soul anyway.
well, I only have 7 of them anyway. So
You
I
could be
can rely
one of
on
those
myself.
corrupted druids that they speak of.
All right. So seems like the majority is for leaving tonight. Yes.
yeah, I
I
Aye,
stick
aye.
my head back
Aye,
in
aye,
and
Captain.
ask for help getting the log all the way situated into the storage bay.
Okay.
I mean, I can shrink it down to the point for a minute.
A lot easier to
And
move
then
that way.
re-expand it to the point where it actually might fit.
Alrighty.
How long can you keep it shrunk? Only that minute?
Yeah.
It's fair though. Do better than not.
At least then you'll be able to wedge it in wherever you want to put it.
Well, I'll meet you on the top deck then.
Indeed.
All right.
So I suppose I asked Galil if he wants me to fly him down or if he wants to walk.
I'm walking.
I walk with you.
All right. So within moments, the as Illy goes back upstairs, she lifts the ship, begins to hover and lift off the ground, lifting higher and higher above the tree line, as it then begins its ascent into the sky. The side pylons of the ship, once it reaches a couple hundred feet above the canopy of the forest, the side pylons extend outwards, and this bright bluish and white light kind of erupts from the center mast that sticks out the center of the ship and creates this circular energy that kind of just continues to rotate around and around, from pylon to pylon to pylon, creating like a ring around the center of the ship as it starts flying off along the canopy, headed east. West. Your initial destination is going to be where exactly? You guys going towards the fortress city?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fortress.
So I'm gonna bring us back to that map cam again, just so you guys can see.
Have a little like Indiana Jones then. Red dotted line.
So
like Emperor's New Groove.
from this direction, having we'll say that just before everybody kind of settles into wherever they're going to be going, the plan is to stick to the woods, to the very here to the mountains, and then passing along the mountains.
Are you sharing something? Because I don't see anything.
Yes, it's on the stream. On the stream part itself.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
I see
it's
it.
on the
Okay.
stream.
And then, no, you're good. And then going along the river until you reach that first destination. So it's going to be about a 380-mile journey-ish, give or take.
Which-
That ain't bad.
Just kind of
That's cool.
sticking to as much of the landmarks as possible, since there's no radar or Google Maps to go by. Just kind of sticking to the mountains and then going across the marsh to the river and then up the river till you reach Umrutlar. It is probably going to be at least a couple of days journey to get there. So that being said, everyone's kind of settling in for the night then?
I'm going
Once you take
outdoors.
Ardren, go ahead.
Well, everyone's starting to filter out. He's just going to shuffle up alongside Iskra. I just want to say, I know that you had initially voted to leave before the fight, but I appreciate you throwing in once everybody had made their vote.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. I still think we should have left first, but I'm glad we handled those things.
I think it'll make life a little bit easier for those folks, so at least I hope so.
Me too. I've got an extra one of these robes that Khalil was handing out. It was gonna be Al's. You should probably take it.
All right. Is Al somebody that we're supposed to be meeting up with at some point? Like your friend Galil, or?
No, he came here with me to this plane and decided he had other things to do.
Oh. Well, I guess you have other traveling companions now, so it's not too bad, right?
I still worry about him, but he made his choice.
Does Arjun have a spice murmur now?
No.
No.
He's not on the friends hotline.
Not in our top 8.
Fanch, you can use my robe too. I can wear what I was wearing when we rescued all of you. That looks thin enough.
I mean, I've got some of my own clothes too. You don't gotta worry about me. If we need to, sure. If it comes to it, I'll do it. But I don't exactly intend to go, too deep into things just yet. I still got some work to do, remember?
Definitely. Do you both have rooms picked out already?
Yeah, I found myself a little something cozy downstairs. It seems pretty open and spacious, even though it looks like maybe there was supposed to be a bunch of people that were living there, but I think I'm gonna just claim the whole section for myself.
I grabbed some sort of cubbyhole that seemed nobody been using for a while, so I'm good there.
As long as you're both comfortable.
Alrighty. Sol, Renan, or whichever one of you.
I'll
Sol,
go
for it.
So when the airship started to take off, he was anticipating it, waiting for that to happen.
Yeah.
So he decided to, kind of like what he would normally do on the airship, is to kind of sit down against that pole, which I guess is somewhere near the center.
The center mast, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And hang out there for the night. He's not quite ready to go down below deck at the moment. It takes a little bit of getting used to because it feels a little claustrophobic for him with his size and everything.
Yep.
So he's going to hang out there for the rest of the night.
Is there like a little point on the end of the reclaimer, like where it slopes to the front?
Yeah.
Or is there like?
Hmm?
Then I'm gonna want to like wrap like a cord or like a rope, something around there, and then just kind of lean back on it, just like relaxing for like whenever we take off. I'll just kind of be riding it in the front.
Okay. Renan?
I'm gonna be going to look for Kindred. I have a question.
Okay.
Real
Up
quick,
this damn
Sol-
circlet.
It is. I
Sol's
haven't actually had you ask. Okay.
Real quick, I forgot to mention, Sol's going to be doing druidcraft to make it appear like there's little fireflies flying around.
Aww.
Yeah, it's pretty.
All right. Galil,
I'm going to the lounge,
you in the lounge? Okay.
making sure I'm the only one there, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sit down and watch the moon. And then in Celestial, I'm going to say, it's about that time we have our talk again. Since this is about the only times I'm able to see you. And try and talk my mom.
Make a religion check for me.
Nat 20.
Dude, when the dice speak, the dice speaketh.
The dice spoke.
guess your mom's picking up the phone.
Yep.
Where have you been?
Ronald Weasley.
No,
So-
cock on.
There was that moment of
21.
yeah. Your focus on the moon as you can see it over in the horizon as it's like it has raised enough and is now kind of starting to move across the sky, bathing the tops of the airship around you in that cool white blue light. It catches inside the windows somehow and it almost seems to like refract itself in a way. You just continue to stare at the moon. And beside you, there is a presence there that wasn't there before. And as you kind of look over, there's like on the peripheral of your vision, it kind of gets a little brighter for just the briefest of moments before it cools itself. And there is a woman there standing next to you, or sitting next to you in this lounge, in full like almost gossamer sparkling robes that kind of they cover her body, and the rest of the world seems to fall away a little bit, just in this serene time-stopped moment. You can see the almost like the little dust particles in the air that kind of like just freeze in place, catching these moon god rays that come through the glass of the lounge here. It has been a while.
Yes, it has. And I do that to put my head on her shoulder.
As you lean over, and for a moment you feel like your head will like sink past her as if she's not present, not real. And then it reaches that soft hair-filled shoulder as it kind of these blackened curls kind of come and fall down around her neck, and you just kind of lay in that soft spot. And she brings up a hand to kind of caress your chin. Are you all right, Galildriel?
I'm getting better.
That much is a relief, to say the least. I was worried about you, you know.
Falling into the abyss.
It was quite a shock, and it took some pushing to orchestrate things, but I think it all turned out well.
Did you know about the gift of my sight?
To some degree.
But you didn't know for who?
Afriel is a complicated subject. We know of him and his ascending power. If all goes well, he proves to be, hopefully, a valuable member of the Pantheon one day. That he chose you to be a oracle was, fitting, I suppose. You are, after all, a nephew, I guess.
Yeah, I really don't know. 'Cause I feel like I adopted him.
Oh, I mean, you did. And he still thinks very highly of you. You are extremely important to him.
My friend said that you or one of the shards or someone close to Saloon talked to them.
Oh. That wasn't actually me, no, but it was her.
Oh,
For once. Your friends struck a chord, I should say. They care for you deeply. And fearing your loss was took a toll on some of them. Perhaps more than they have let on or told you. Things would have gone badly had you not come back.
well, I'm grateful to be back.
I have a feeling that there is more to this conversation than just idle chatter. What troubles you?
Why do they want Carp out of the picture so bad?
Afro has the potential of putting a stop to everything that the Red Wizards and the Queen of the Dragons has in store for the world. That prophecy that you came across, what feels like so long ago to you, I'm sure.
About
Yeah.
finding the 12?
They are ever as much a part of him as he is of them, I suppose. Saloon has her shards. Afril will have his angels. And all of them and their combined might have the possibility of putting a stop to what's coming.
That's only if we find Graveyard first.
That is also a key to the puzzle.
I feel like you know where it is, but unable to tell us.
If I knew, I would tell you. But unfortunately, such a place is hidden from our sight.
Hidden from the gods as well.
At least the ones that we speak to. It is not within the light of the moon. That said, it must be hidden away beyond it.
Are you okay with me worshipping Afriel instead of Saloon?
That is not up to me, is it? You're a free mortal. You are able to choose who you show any allegiance to, regardless of your heritage. Besides, I don't think she would mind. It is her child, after all. We're keeping it within the family.
As long as it's not her sister, huh?
As long as it's not her sister. On that note, be wary.
I'm gonna get up, give her a hug, as tight as I can, and just say thank you. And I miss you.
You know I'm always watching. And I'm always present as much as I can be, even if I don't directly speak to you all the time. But we are always listening and always watching. And I and your father are very proud of you.
Who exactly is my father? The only one that raised me was Bordevar. Or is that another time?
She smiles. You know. You know more than you think you do. She pinches your cheek. Try to stay out of trouble, Galil.
I'll try my best.
Watch out for the Dark One's influences. She's stirring, and rather closely, I'm afraid. She takes a step back and vanishes.
Rather closely. What does she mean by that?
There's a cloud that begins to obscure some of the moonlight that comes through. And you are left in the lounge pondering your thoughts. You head off to bed?
After I make contact with Carp, then I'm headed to bed.
Okay. How do you beseech?
Close meditation.
You wonder why you have all these headaches.
No, right now Adam has the headache. Leo's clear-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Summoning deities, astral projecting.
Mm-hmm. You've been smoking the peace pipe. No.
Move his body.
Whew, if only.
It is a moment that passes as you're still sitting there in the passenger lounge, and your attention focuses outwards, trying to reach for Afriel. And there's no reply.
Carp?
Yeah. Afriel is Carp. Carp is Afriel.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird.
You can sense the presence is there, but there is a distraction. He hears you. There's no reply yet.
Huh. I think I'll try again in the morning then.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna head off to bed then.
Renan, you go torment Kindred.
Walk up and knock on the door.
Just as Kindred, you are finally falling into the deepest parts of your trance.
I just side eye Plume. And I'm like,
Your first night trying to. First night? Second night. Second night.
Both Kindred and Plume at the same time in unison take out like a little knife.
on the count of 3. No.
Baby shank doo doo doo.
But yeah, I just look at
Yeah, shank him. Shank him.
side eye Plume and just like, I know who it is. I'm busy.
You say that like I'm supposed to believe that, Kindred. I need but a moment of your time.
One moment. You're like fidgeting as I mage hand, as I'm like, kind of like when you're sleepy and you're like can't really see and do stuff like really clearly. It takes a minute from a mage hand to fucking open the door, but okay. All right, what?
Stepping in and seeing kind of what you're doing, I say, well, then I suppose I have 2 things. The first one being, would you mind by any chance sending a message to Vice and seeing if they've made any progress on my circlet?
Yes, I would mind. It's past midnight and he's probably asleep. We can do that in the morning.
Fair enough.
And the second?
Do you mind if I join you? Considering you haven't tranced much lately.
Side eye Plume again. I wonder why.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just go over and get down into a meditation post. I do Spies Murmur North, that I'll be up there in about 4 hours.
Okay. Alrighty. So you settle in for a trance. Everybody kind of settling in for the night then? Istra?
I'll go and open Alaquin's old room
Okay.
and look around in there. Is there anything left over?
Make an investigation check.
I believe that's an 18. Let me
An 18?
see here real quick. Overestimated myself a little. 16.
16. Looking around this room, you have a recollection of the various times that you had been in here, and it's kind of like one of those things that plays through the memories in your head. You can like see those little brief visions of coming in, hanging out, laughing about whatever.
Yeah, the first time he summoned is familiar.
Truth. Your mind goes back and kind of absent-mindedly you toy with the necklace that's been around your neck, buried in your clothes, and you kind of pull it out in that little triangular shape with the bead that sits in its center. The little storm rages within it as it floats perfectly in its box, as it were.
Casing.
Thank you. There's a couple of things that are left to this room, but nothing that was of consequence. You can see a quill set into the inkwell, still there. The ink's now long dried. You can see a couple of the random splotches on the desk wood itself as late night scribblings into that book of shadows had left some little ink spillage there as well. The bed's been made, but there's still almost like that indentation there where someone had once laid before. A slight sulfury smell to the air. Just kidding. But there's that moment as you're going through these memories. There's another presence to this room with you. Almost like you can hear a second voice amongst the memories, another voice. Feeling curious about what you remember. And just as quickly as that secondary presence in the back of your mind kind of plays out, it's gone.
Damn it, Al. I take the quill and I'll leave the room, close the door. Not particularly quietly, like I'm not slamming it, but maybe louder than I should for midnight. And head across to my room now.
You hear the door open behind you. The one that you had just closed. You turn
around.
You can see Criterion's head peek back and forth down the hallway. Hey.
Man, you can't scare me like that. Jeez.
Did I scare you?
I thought I felt something in there. I didn't realize it was you. You could have said something.
I was in the process of coming to you, so I hadn't quite got there yet. Maybe it was one of those, I was thinking about you, you were thinking about something else, and, you kind of got my drift.
Well, let's not talk in the hallway.
Isn't everybody asleep?
You know these guys. They're always milling around.
That's true. Do you have a minute?
Yeah, sure.
And he follows you into your room.
Close.
As he walked across, he's got his now very Ravnican clothing that he is wearing, and he's like this hood that's pulled up, and as soon as he comes into your room, he pulls it back and tussles his hair. It looks like it's wet, and you realize looks like he just came out of the rain a little bit. Not full on dripping, but you can tell that it probably had been raining wherever, or drizzling at least wherever he was at.
A bit of weather, huh?
Yeah.
You want me to take care of that for you?
That's fine. I gotta go back out there in a little bit anyway.
All right. Suit yourself.
Listen, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. I've been talking to, some of the other oracles amongst the Knights of Silvermoon. Just kind of giving them a heads up of what you guys, found.
Right.
With the watch and stuff. Things have been getting a little weird all over. Just, you here aren't the only ones that are experiencing a little more.
I get those common words mixed up all the time too.
Experiencing. God damn.
Red wizards.
Sorry, dimension lag.
Yeah. Things are weird. There's a lot of crossover from dimensions happening, more so than usual.
Aren't we supposed to stop that?
Under
I
normal
only have this because you guys let me keep it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you hold on to it because it could come in handy, but we got things covered for the most part, but it's just... Be careful. Keep an eye out. The way things are going, it should be relatively easy to see when things don't belong somewhere.
So we can expect things to go wrong in a big way then.
I mean, the watch had been kind of under our nose and we didn't even know he was from another place. Which, by the way, you know how familiar are you with things that die in other places? That was a weird sentence. When something dies, let me just tell you straight up. If it dies in a plane that is not its own, depending on what it is, sometimes it just goes back to where it came from to begin with. That may have been the case with that Valraven guy.
That could be a problem.
Maybe. I mean, we have some people that are looking for him now, where he came from. Now that we know who we're looking for, it makes it a little bit easier.
Right.
So him getting here might be a little trickier than it was before, because now we're looking out for him. Just, things can get weird. Sometimes dead, it's not always dead. You know that. You've been fighting liches and stuff, right?
Yeah. That first adventure, we had ghosts.
That's true. Well, I just wanted to give you a heads up. The knights are on alert. We're kind of keeping a stricter eye on things.
Well, I'm glad we were good for something.
I mean, you kind of put a little ember in our boot, if you will. And
I nod.
By the way, good call on that food joint.
Yeah, the special?
Good stuff. Also, it's probably none of my business. But I kind of left a little surprise for your family. They're a little better off. They're a little better off than they were before. I had some extra Xenos. I left a note and said it was from you. Like I said, it was none of my business, but you've been doing us a lot of good work and doing us a lot of favors by sticking around here.
I don't know if Anna will be real happy about that, but...
I didn't hear no complaints. Not that I was sticking around listening or eavesdropping or nothing.
I appreciate it. Criterion, thank you.
But I just wanted to, ease your mind a little bit. Your family's alright. And Ravnica will probably still be there when you come back.
Right, depending on how we do here.
Yeah, Ravnica's got its own problems sometimes. It's...
Tell me about it.
Planeswalkers, they are such pains in the ass.
I didn't even consider that.
Well, enough is on your plate as it is. You guys are heading in a good direction, I think. From the look of it.
I think so too. We don't have a lot to go on, but we've got a little. By the way, if you know anything about the Thay Lich storage unit, could use the hints.
Let's try and see what I can cook up. Take care of yourself, Iskra.
You too, Criterion. Thank you.
He goes over to the door and sticks a key in a keyhole that wasn't there before. As he opens the door to your room, You can see the hallway beyond is no longer a hallway, but what looks like another part of a house of some sort. And you, for a briefest of moments, get a waft of air that carries with it the sense of a city that you did not realize carried the emotional weight that it did. And you are, for a moment, heartsick with the scent of familiarity of that city.
I kind of reach out towards the doorway a little, stop myself.
And he passes the door, pulls his hood back up, and winks his little half-orc eyes, and then does a little thumbs up, and then closes the door behind him. And you're left in the room with your thoughts for the moment, before settling in for the night.
Yeah, I'll just sit down on the bed.
All right. As you guys settle in for the night, long rests are had all around.
Finally.
So you guys can relax for now.
I like healing. Dun, 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 dun.
Wow.
The effects of the necrotic bites of those creatures has worn away, so your hit point maximums return to their previous hit point maxes.
The end of the normal people's, or at the end of trance, when all the normal peoples are still resting, I'll make my way back up to the top deck and just kind of sit next to North.
Before he does that, during their trance and while everybody else was sleeping, I wanted to try to call out to whatever entity I felt earlier. Since I'm kind of alone up here in the sky, I was like, shut my eyes and really try and
Make a religion check for me.
And then I'm also going to use D6.
Art?
20.
20 for the religion.
Mm-hmm. I used a knowledge of a past life, so I used my 6. My D6. I got a 2. So 20. Artificial 20.
Yeah. With the staring up at the stars and into the darkness, you call out to whatever that voice was before, and you don't reach anything or don't receive anything in return besides a slight sense of vertigo. Suddenly kind of creeps through your stomach as you focus so far inwards that you kind of like, so you ever laid in bed and just before you fall asleep there you have that moment of like where you feel like you were falling for no reason, but you were laying perfectly still? It's kind of like that. It's just like this like sudden jerk awake, as if something had shunted you from how deep you were going inside of yourself. Whether that was a response to what you had been seeking or not, you're unsure of, but it was strangely timed, all things considered. But Renan comes up to find you. And was there anything you wanted to talk to him about, Renan, or you were just going up to find him?
I'm just going up to find him. I had
Okay.
said that we would do shifts on the deck together, and then I had remembered that Kindred hadn't exactly tranced in a long time, and except for the night before, and didn't feel like Kindred should be alone for that.
Okay. So, as morning comes and the brightness of dawn starts to filter through the individual windows of your rooms, those of you who were sleeping indoors and those of you who were sleeping on the top of the deck, start off the next day. Cloudless sky, clear sky is what I'll say. And the day is yours. What are you guys wanting to do?
Calisthenics.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I actually would like, since I trance and do 4 hours, I'll do wizard stuff.
Okay.
Like old times. I'll get to you on that. But I actually want to go sneak in and wake Galil up.
Okay.
Bitch, wake up.
Galil. Galil!
Oh, did that scare you, Sonder?
The video jumped.
Oh,
Galil,
okay.
Kindred is wanting to talk to you.
Since I know you're the cook, I just I want to make a big breakfast for the boys and for Granny for the morning.
Do
Can
you know
help
what
me?
time it is?
It's morning time, the time that breakfast should be made.
I know. I'm just getting up.
Well, come on, let's
But
do
yeah. What dish do you have in mind?
it. Pancakes, bacon, ham.
Good grief.
What do the boys like? They like anything. They're boys. They'll eat all.
IHOP continental breakfast all of a sudden.
Pretty much.
Go get Iska. She's a better chef with me. A better sous chef, at least.
I don't want to wake. I want to surprise everyone. I feel like Iskra's kind of been like, she's been neglected here lately. So just do this with me.
Fine, but you're bathing Oreo later.
Okay, fine.
Good luck.
Cast Gus blows Oreo over the side of the ship.
It's just like all super fluffy, like.
Cast air dryer.
Uh-huh. I mean,
I'll go.
okay. So, it is my hope that a lot of you wake up to the wonderful smells of mostly Galil's cooking while I supervise.
Meaning I'm just only cooking in pants, by the way.
Okay.
Okay. I'll do that too. I'll cook in pants too.
Oh my gosh.
Got the
Mhm.
cooking pants on.
Abercrombie and Fitch model catalog right here.
Perception check on the smell of food.
It's no perception check is necessary as it is
We're in close quarters.
You
Close
see
Well,
the
we're on
waft
top
of the
of a
smell,
ship in the sky.
and it turns into the hand going like this.
yeah.
If anything, I'll like prestidigitation and Gus like some shit right in front of your face, okay?
Don't worry, I'm going to
You'll-
use thaumaturgy and change the smell to cover it up.
And all that stuff too. Yeah, y'all aren't missing the smell.
That's some bit of crap.
All right.
Cream
So-
fresh.
everybody manages to get together for breakfast. As you guys are flying, Illy comes down. She kind of like walking very carefully. It's like, supposedly that big tall man made the ship have like a little bit of a go on its own for a little bit, and I've never really tried using it before. It's kind of like a cruise control, I guess. I'm kind of nervous about it, but I'm gonna grab a plate and then I'm gonna go right back up. All right?
I can bring it
Wait.
to you.
Soul gave the ship cruise control?
I don't remember doing that.
It was back whenever we were getting it fixed in Silvery Moon.
That gruff fellow, I believe.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh.
He helped fix a lot of the little trinkets on this ship.
I'm recovering from the horror that set in as soon as Iskra had said Soul gave the ship cruise control. Like I had like heart palpitations staring at Soul, and then Galil corrected. Iliel's like,
It's just the giant Quetzalcoatlus in the bottom, like.
Yeah, it's just the bird. It's just like carrying the reclaimer on its back. Mm-hmm.
It's a bunch of tiny spiders with their little web umbrella or parachutes.
It's been from the giant beast with spiders.
I just had an image of falling out of the sky in a big wooden box.
The boys
You
come
have
in.
wings.
The boys come in a little more subdued than they normally are. They come in and eat.
Trying to like fill them
Fanch-
up with breakfast as much as I can, like extra toppings.
Fanch comes in, stretching in her like silk pajamas. First day of traveling. I'm not gonna lie, sleeping on an airship's really freaking weird.
Yeah, it feels like a waterbed at times.
If the waterbed were flying, it's
Waterbeds
weird.
are a terrible thing. They're good for
They
only
re-
one thing.
I don't think I've ever slept on
They're
a
not even
bed
good
of
for
water
that.
either.
So looks
I'm in-
confused and
I'm in
looks at
sleeping.
Sonder and kind of whispers.
They're
to
not
Sonder,
even good for that.
Have you heard of that before?
My sword always pokes a hole in it.
Yeah.
We can't have anything nice. It's just what this life is.
Never seems to make its con save.
So as you guys gather,
Come on, Fanch, have a seat.
takes a seat, sits next to everybody in this little galley. Mind you, Ardrin, so this is your first time on this airship. So
It was great.
as I don't think you kind of started watching in the after Silvery Moon, so they weren't even traveling then at the time, right?
Wait, I thought he had seen the third.
Well, he'd
the
been
ship
on it.
before.
We made our escape, but he hasn't got to like enjoy
Yeah,
it.
so
like,
in the-
relax.
You've been a little busy.
Yeah.
That's
The secondary floor of this airship, at the very back of it, is the galley. In between that and the front are the individual cabins, and in the very front there is a like a dining room of sorts. It's not a very big dining room. It's more like a little lounge that has like the Japanese style table that's almost like an extended coffee table, and everybody sits on pillows. There's no chairs here. It's just a bunch of like there's like a carpet and the pillows on top that kind of spread up to the walls, so it's a seating for a bunch of people, and there's just the table is low set, so everyone just kind of sits there on the floor.
That sounds cozy.
Yeah,
We all have
super
to
cozy.
basically sit like with our knees touching because of how many of us there are.
Basically,
And
and then there's two forward like viewport portholes in the front that kind of allow you to see where the ship is going. Basically.
Soul has to claim one of the corner.
I stand like with my plate.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
standing
it's
because-
not like you can't stand in it. I'm just saying that the table is low.
Yeah, I'm just saying I stand in the room because sitting next to an Avarial is not a pleasant experience.
To
Like
wings in
sitting on the
face.
ground next to an Avarial is not pleasant.
I mean, we can tell with your wingspan that you have going on right now, right?
It's the morning.
Yeah.
Like if it's chilly, sitting next to Avarial is a great way to go.
Right. Okay. Anyway, you guys.
Can you
gather-
mage hand his wings pinch close?
as you guys are seated together and have this brief moment of like nothing is trying to kill you.
Domestic bliss.
Yeah, domestic bliss, basically.
Enjoy
You know
it.
what?
Well,
I'm sorry I didn't wake up in time. I promise I won't be late tomorrow.
It's all good. You can help me with dinner.
Deal.
Because honestly, you're better. Can't you just supervise me? That's it.
It's true. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but I made him do it.
I laugh.
But it was worth it.
Quality.
We're all
of
here.
What was
I don't
made.
mind you taking some turns in the kitchen instead, Kindred.
You know, I think we
What
should
is
all
it?
take a turn, and I'll look over to Vance. Vance, I don't know.
Wow.
Vance.
Oh, by the way, I still have that book of yours, Kindred.
Oh, the cookbook?
Yes.
How's it been? Does it come in handy? I know we scribbled a lot in that thing.
Well, trying to avoid the traces of your digs and all that.
It wasn't our dicks, it was other boys' dicks.
I look.
Trying to avoid all that, I've just been perusing the recipes. There's actually some good ones in there.
Mhm.
Forgot about that.
I look to Galil. If you ever need any help cooking, you could ask me. I haven't had to do a whole lot in some time, but my upbringing required me to have some level of culinary skills.
Well, you're probably going to have to help me here soon because supplies are running low with food, so we might have to take a little stop somewhere.
That's not a problem. Anyway, what I was going to say earlier is when I say that, I turn and I look to Fanch and I just look at her and say, right, we should all take turns. And once again, my words kind of echo a little bit longer than they should. And I'll cast Charm Person.
On Fanch?
Yes.
Okay. What's the save on that?
The charisma. Let me think. Oh shit, where's that? Wisdom.
What's the number though that had to be?
17.
Cool. She rolls a with her wait, hold on. With her saving throw.
Mind Sliver. No, I'm kidding.
Is a 20.
Oh,
She
damn.
like as you say it, and she kind of
Wait.
cocks her head to the side a little bit.
And I just watch as like the spell reverberates and bounces off, and I'm just like, you do surprise us. Nice
It's like-
job.
You know that my husband was like magically inclined. You
And I'm
this
sure
is-
he kept you on your toes like I will.
You think this is my first charm? Oh, honey.
No.
You are in for a world of surprises.
We keep each other guessing.
Soul?
You got hit with an oh honey, oh my.
Soul?
So I wasn't around when we decided to leave, but where are we going at the moment?
Well, we're headed to a fortress city inside Thay, along a river.
Like
Faerun
straight
back to
into
Thay.
the city?
and Ruthlar.
We can travel to the outskirts.
Near one, anyway. And then from there, north to one of Fanch's husband's clients.
Yeah, good old Ulden. He probably won't remember me, which is probably for the best, but at least he'll give us somewhere to look.
So we going back to belly of the beast, as it said, right?
Yep.
That's the ticket.
Okay.
We're not-
I might have to stay in cat form then. I don't know how well I blend in like the rest of you.
And I wouldn't worry about it. There's all sorts of weird things. The closer you get to Thay, you'll be fine. Renan?
I just like reach both hands out and smack him against my wings, like, oh, because I blend in so well. Anyway, but the other
That
thing,
has been a bit of a problem. You kind of stick out.
Yeah, you really do.
well,
Anyway, you can hide those wings for a bit.
Fanch picks up a butter knife. We could probably use some one of these or something.
I have
I just found
absolutely
your best
no-
friend.
Vance, I have absolutely no obligation as of yet not to blow your head off with a thunderbolt.
Also,
Hey.
I don't think
Just
that
worth a
little.
suggestion.
I don't think that little knife would actually work very well. You'd probably.
I mean,
I have a
be very
sword.
sharp.
But she does have
Looking-
frostbrand. She could try that.
Looking back to Galil, though, just an FYI, the thing I was most gifted at when I was cooking was the pastries. I'm good at desserts. The rest, you might need to help me with.
You're gonna
French.
hide your wings in a pastry?
Fanch puts the butter knife down. Well, now that I know there's muffins involved, maybe he'll be all right.
I
And
guess
as you-
I can teach.
As you guys kind of laugh and mingle together here around the breakfast table, we will go ahead and end it there for tonight, as we have a nice little respite stud muffin. Oh,
Guess we
love
gotta
it.
keep going for 30
Oh no!
minutes.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Hello!
now we have
Hi.
to keep going for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Welcome
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
We got
Welcome
half
on
an
in.
hour.
Welcome on in. First time chatters. We love to see that.
Welcome to
Yeah.
our Halloween special.
Yay!
Literally, I forgot about that.
Yes.
Nice. It was super nice. Welcome, Italian Gamer Joe. First time chat. Good to see you. Hello, Raiders.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's give you a little shout out there. There we go. Ooh, you were playing Luigi's Mansion. Very nice.
Ooh, fun.
Indeed, a good time was had. Yes, we were just, eating around the breakfast table, as you do.
On our airship.
You know, just brunch.
Do we want to try to roleplay a little bit more?
I mean, that's up to. I mean, that's up to.
Taco, good job on that.
Yeah. Where would you? What are you? I mean, you guys know that you have at least 3 more days of travel, before you get to your next destination.
Hey,
Before
Soul, do you think you could summon a
we
storm?
Oh my God. Why?
before we end,
Yes.
and before we forget
Yes.
again and hold
Mhm.
it off again.
Oh,
So
Kindred.
accusatory.
I know.
Oh,
No,
Kindred.
it's
Don't
that
forget
it's
touch
that we
Saunders'
all have
staff.
ADHD and we all forget, especially Kindred and I, who don't follow through with actually asking the question. So,
typical
Kindred,
bottoms.
do you mind messaging Vice now that it's morning?
I'm eating breakfast.
My God, you are the worst.
And I think there's a cheesecake in the fridge that's calling my name.
Wait, what?
from somewhere beyond, Illy's like, "Don't count on it, Buttercup."
Thank you for being a friend.
That cheesecake was long gone. There was no chance in hell for that cheesecake just been there.
Her and the boys ate it last night.
Well, they deserved
Definitely.
it then.
They did. Mm-hmm. But
Get some ice cream.
I have
Want a
some.
soda?
I have some gelato in the freezer that is waiting for me.
How dare you?
Um,
How dare you?
I hate you.
You
Go
know,
get it.
it's been a while since we've done this. Like, it's kind of nice.
Eating all together,
Mm-hmm.
not on the road.
and not like in the presence of the enemy.
You could say
Dinner
that.
tables around the enemy. I will not miss for a while.
I don't have to pretend to be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, who were you pretending to be? Finch says as she like stuffs a mouthful of pancakes.
Who haven't she
Yes.
pretended to be? She's like a master of disguise.
Thanks. In this occasion, I was their bodyguard, the point at Kindred.
A bodyguard. You
well,
ru-
this was
I
back when I
guess-
was hobgoblin, so it made more sense.
Oh right, I forgot about that.
So what are you gonna do now since you're back to being an elf with a full set of hair?
Start making presents.
You could be my bodyguard instead. I've got shorter hair than you.
This is true.
Berg.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. The whole, like, shaving of heads thing in the Thayan Empire.
Mhm.
I mean,
I don't know. She has, like pats her
Kindred.
hands under the curls around her head. She's just like, I don't really care to part with these babies, if you know what I mean.
As long as we've got
You shouldn't
one
have put that out in the
wizard on
world.
board, we'll be
Especially
okay.
with the boys hearing.
Kindred, how exactly do you learn spells?
Through time and study and dedication.
Or
Why?
natural talent.
Says the one who comes to me every day for spells.
Can you learn a spell that you see someone do?
Depends on the circumstance. It would be very challenging to say the least, and it depends. I don't want to say no, I don't want to say yes, but what do you have in mind?
How I shapeshifted into you.
Yeah. What
You
about
think if I be able to teach you that, you can shapeshift back into your hobgoblin form for that hour?
You know what? Now that you say that, and I shapeshift back. Like this?
Wow. So you could have just done this the whole time. Why wouldn't you just stay in the hobgoblin body and then just be, shapeshifted into what you normally look like?
Because this is temporary.
Oh, right. That's right. Well,
Is that an actual shapeshift or is that an illusion?
So that was worth a life?
As I'll kind of like go to like touch my hair. Oh, I'm bald now.
yeah.
Yeah, so no, it's just an illusion. And I'll like wish my hair so you'll feel like the wish, but I look bald, so you're like, what the fuck?
Did
Like,
the
but
whole,
mine is
glamour.
real.
Well, the presumption being that they can't see through some of that. You think the closer we get, the more secure they're going to make things.
And you're also forgetting Galil, and I hold up my hand and minor illusion, a little lens, and it just kind of spins. A lot of them fuckers have these lenses that just see straight through all of our bullshit, remember?
That's right. Verity found that out the hard way.
Yep.
Would that also work against my cat form or any other form?
Well, I don't know for sure, but I think it lets us know that there's magic in place. So they would see a cat.
Sounds like a yes to me.
Probably a yes. But
Yeah, most likely.
since I haven't tried it myself, I don't know exactly what it does, but more than likely.
I do kind of want to take one of those if we ever find one.
Oh, well, fuck yeah.
Speaking of things that have been useful to liberate from the enemy, Sonder and I still have that anti-magic staff that Valravn had. You think we can restart it?
You have it with you now?
It's maybe in Saunder's room. I had to look at Sonder.
Do you kind of want to do that when we're not flying on a magical airship?
Well, if y'all have been carrying it and you don't activate it, I can take a look at it.
Here, Scoot, I'll go grab it. I assume I'm like somewhere in the middle. So.
Yeah.
I just see you just like monk
over.
through all the table. Like,
Yeah.
she just turns into water.
Do front flips.
I could actually.
You could just do cartwheels out
what?
of the room.
While I'm waiting for people to move, I will just turn myself into water.
Oh, you see Fanch go, what the hell's happening with this?
And
So how
Alex Mack
exactly
or Terminator
how long
2 under
can she do that?
everybody. And then reform. Like, not very long right now. But I'm working on it. Saunders been helping me practice.
That's,
Anyway.
Fanch is like, that's freaking weird, but I kind of love it.
Me too. It takes some getting used to. You kind of described it perfectly.
I just had like. Also, sounds kind of horrifying if things go horribly wrong. What if you fall into like a drain or something, and then before you know it, you're like in the sewers or something? That would be just like a nightmare. What if the pipe's too small and you can't even like get out of it? It's like super, super tiny, and you're just water stuck in this pipe going who knows where. And what if it never leads out to a place, and then you like reform, but now you're stuck underground?
And
You know
here's
what?
a drink. Here's a drink. You need it.
She's just like, oh my god, the claustrophobia. It's just, oh, it's starting to kick in now.
I just side-eye Galil and point to him under the table and cast message. And I'm like, she's a fucking suck-up.
Well, so speaking of practice, I wanted to see if maybe one of you would like to do that thing that Sonder and Iskra do when they friendly fight together.
I mean, spar.
Yes, I don't want to feel so not ready for big battles like last time.
I'll fight with you.
Renan throws his hands up. I
have
don't
a
spar.
couple of
I'll spar with you.
Okay, who said what now? I heard 3 people.
Renan said no. Nora
I said I
yes.
don't spar.
Sonder said, I don't know what Sonder said. What'd you say, Sonder?
I have a couple of scrolls that I've taken when I went back to my monastery. If you want to go over some of those with Fanch as well, might be best for beginners.
Okay, that sounds like fun. I would like
I'll
to
let
do
you all
that.
borrow them if you want to.
And I gotta give Oreo a bath.
It's true.
She needs one.
I return with the broken end of the anti-magic staff and set it down on the table.
So I was gonna get up and look at it and just kind of try to scooch on by over everyone to leave. I do not really trust that thing.
I don't
Just
either,
looking at it
so
for now,
I might go
as
to
I
my room too.
Stuff my
I'm gonna
mouth and
follow
finish my
Soul.
plate.
It's pretty dead, I think. I flick the crystal.
No,
No-
don't,
no-
don't.
Nothing happens.
What's wrong with this thing? Bang!
Maybe the batteries are not stuck in all the way.
I was just like, give me a mini heart attack.
It's
let
not
me
connected
try-
to the Wi-Fi.
Right, it's not synced up yet. Bluetooth.
Oh, I hate that. It's like
Uh,
trying to
Mars
sync
an
up
app
your
to start.
light
Let me
bulbs.
try a more gentle touch, and I just kind of like run my fingers along it, and you see like ripples just kind of wave over it and kind of settle around, and it's all blurry for a little bit as I'm just muttering, and I'll cast Identify.
Do you think it's Netherese tech? Like a mini mythal?
Did you say anything to that?
Oh no, I'm concentrating and
Oh.
muttering the incantations as I'm gaining the insight and knowledge of what it does at the moment.
Slowly downloading the manual PDF.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
Verifying update.
Got to get past this firewall. 1 second.
It'll be Acrobat
bypass the
update.
main-
Where did I put the file?
LimeWire.
No,
Steam shut it down for maintenance.
it's not.
Yep, that's exactly what happens.
Please.
Hold on to your butts.
I'll just search.
I left my room, by the way.
I know. I'll come
Left.
get you in a little bit to get Oreo.
I left with Soul so whenever he wants to spar.
Oh, okay.
I will leave with them as well, but I'm going up to the top deck
Taco.
ahead of everything.
This is why we can't have nice things, Taco. This is why we can't have nice things.
I thought you thought this would work. Well, it does work if you just have to.
So, would you like
Did
to
you
start
try-
training now?
Sure. It seems like we have a little bit of time before all the scary things start happening again. So I guess now is a good time as any.
We still have a few days travel, so we'll be alright. Plenty of time to get into the headspace we need to be.
Kindred,
Yes.
as you focus on this item and I try and cast Identify on it, you are used to the quickness that this spell works its magic on. The identity of an object and its function and its usage and its place in the world. And this one, for the moment, as you like lay this magic over it, do you touch it or no?
I think I have to.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me double check.
I think you need to.
Yes, I have to touch it. So at one point I
Is it
do touch it. For the most part, I
The
just run
good
my
news-
hands along.
As you touch it and you place your hand on it, and the magic like swirls around it, you have that moment like we were talking about before when you're laying on a bed and you feel like you're falling. Only this time, your stomach almost empties itself, and you feel like you're falling forward.
I just
and you
ate.
hear-
So which way does it empty?
Just the sensation. It's not a physical, not a physical emptying. The,
I
the
shit my pants.
sensation of like it's almost like your insides just like squeeze up and you fall forward into nothing. It's just a sensation. You know, there's no actual physical movement. But you hear screams. Dozens of them. Tortured, painful shouts and screams. And a cold that chills your skin. This thing operates on pain and discomfort and torture. And it is not from this plane. It is not from anything that you have sensed before in your life. It cancels out magic because it almost makes everything in its circle cease to exist. But because it is from somewhere else, it can't cancel life. It can't cancel what's within it, but it pulls magic in, destroys it in a way that you have never sensed before. It rips the weave of magic itself and creates like a void of it. And it is that sensation that like wants to draw you into it. It is just it's almost as if there is nothing there, and then you are pulled back. This device can be recharged, but the device itself must be beaten and damaged and tortured, almost as if this thing were alive on its own. And only then can it distort the very fabric of reality that you hold dear as an arcane practitioner. And you feel sick to your stomach. This thing is evil. And it should not exist. And that is where we are going to end for tonight.
Iskra?
Just touching all the cursed things, you know. Eloquence trident, this thingy.
You know,
mean,
just cross girl shit.
You know,
It's fine. Everything's fine.
you know, can we name the staff Uwu?
Ooh.
Oh no!
Every time you cast with it or fight with it, it goes and it hits something. It goes ooh.
So, I mean, I need to find the paper itself, and I'll send you like the details of it. But basically, you have to beat it. You have to like hit it with an object in order to.
Have to beat my shaft.
I should have ended this
Beat
like so
yourself.
long ago. I should not have tried to explain it.
You
any
said
further.
it. You said it.
know!
To beat the stick.
You have to beat the stick.
That's 2 sticks I,
I can
gotta beat
picture it
daily.
actually sounding like Morty. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. Show me your staff as soon as I show up, and then you leave. Typical night. Listen, it's not my fault.
Can I beat this one and Saunders at the same time?
Hey, I haven't seen Parrish in the comments in a while.
Oh, Parrish, we have missed you. You know, it has been a while, but we're
Of course
always...
it's with him where we start
When
talking
we start
about our
talking about
shafts.
start talking about a staff, and look who he shalleth appear. But it's good to see you, Parrish. Thank you.
It's good to see you, Parrish.
It's good to see you, Parrish. Okay, no, but Parrish. Okay, listen, that's his name. Okay. It's good to see you, Parrish. And thank you, Raiders. I can't say it in another way. That's just how it is. Thank you for Triple Sundog for coming in and bringing your viewers and your family with us. We appreciate that. Come and see us again. You know, we hang out
coming
here.
to the dungeon.
Thanks for coming to the dungeon. We have a oh my god, not your dungeon. I was just thinking like normal, like a normal Dungeons and Dragons dungeon, but no. If you,
I don't think normal is a possibility here.
that's also probably true. Don't forget this Saturday at 8 p.m. At 8 p.m. Central Time, we will be having our next episode of the Fae Hunters. Come join Sonder down here. Oh wait, I guess over here.
Is that taking into account the time change?
Is it?
Oh,
Time
yeah.
change? Is it time change
Yeah.
this weekend? I mean, it's before the time change, isn't it? Isn't it?
I know, but you know how it is,
Like,
like right around the time change. You're like, wait, before or after?
I don't know.
Have fun.
We'll
Just
find
put
out.
an announcement up before.
Yeah, we'll clarify things. But Saunders in there. We have LV in there. Dreamy from Dads and Dice. She's in there with us. We have
Taco.
Marafin from all the way from the Ulur Isles and also known as Australia. She joins us, and it's
What was
always
that, the Uwu Isles?
the Uwu Isles.
Uwu
Yes,
Isles?
the Uwu Isles. Definitely.
That's where the staff comes from too.
I mean, right now she should be up. It's only 2.
right.
Yeah.
But we will see you here for more Game of Santos next Tuesday. And until then, stay groovy. Be good. Be safe.
Stay submissive.
On
Have
that
a
Australian
spooky
note,
Halloween.
Okay.
feel
Spooky.
like
Oh, yes.
grandma
Be
would say
safe for
something.
Halloween. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, which is quite a lot. Bye.